Hello, guys. I'm so sorry. I've been talking for the last like 30 minutes. I am so sorry. Oh my God. Oh my good. Can you guys see me and hear me right now? I've been talking for the last for I went through the entire beginning process. Okay, I don't know what to say. Very sorry about this, guys, but I've been reading all of your comments for the last 30 minutes and I thought I was on air. I am so sorry. So sorry. This is embarrassing. Please let me know that you guys thank you again, many apologies. I'm reading this and I'm like, these guys are saying that I'm late. What are you talking about? I started on time. And so I'm looking at this. It's like not oh man, I'm embarrassed and really so sorry. Sorry about that, everybody. Yes, welcome to the show. Obviously, I have it so wrong here. Um Please forgive, please forgive. This is really awful. I can only laugh at this, but happy 4th of July, everybody. I am super, super sorry. Yeah, this is the first time I've really screwed up this bad. I am really, um, really sorry. Anyway, welcome to the International Science Fiction Space Station. And our topic for today is uh patriotic movies. Thank you for all of you guys who stuck with me for the whole time and didn't leave. But yes, I am super sorry. I must have hit the wrong button thinking I was broadcasting when I wasn't, and it's been like almost 30 minutes of me talking to myself. And reading comments like you guys could see me. But anyway, let's get started. Brogu was the first one here. Hello, Brogu. This is my second time saying hi to you, but this is the first time you're actually hearing me say hello to you. It says, hello, everyone, and a special hello to the exquisite RNG. Today, America celebrates the 4th with its many fireworks. RNG, all we need are those beautiful sparkling eyes of yours to get us saluting. Well, thank you very much, Brogu. You were very kind words, and so happy that you were here. I am really full of apologies today for all of this, but happy 4th of July. And Lance Chapin was here and holding it down. Thank you so much. Says hiya RNG, happy 4th of July, my beautiful streamer. Thank you so much. Big hugs to you and all that you do for the channel. Really appreciate all of the support that you give us all year long, and just wonderful to have you here. And Joseph Judd says, happy 4th, y'all. And I'm going to try to go by this really fast because I know I'm going to have to catch up with the chat. And Judge Joseph Dredd says, best patriotic movies, Patriot, The Right Stuff, The Longest Day. Yes, I think those are on my list. So we'll have to double check and make sure. And Outcast Creative says, retro nerd girl, hey, if you want me on this for a bit, just say the word. Got some things to show you for the stream. Absolutely. And I'm not sure how to do that at this point. I'm just like my brain is just a little bit blown right now. Uh, but give me like a few minutes. And Adam says, Happy Independence Day to my American friends. To celebrate 4th of July, I got up at 4 a.m. and had 4 waffles and put 4 cubes of sugar in my coffee. Now at 4 p.m. watching RNG. Coincidence? I think not. Thank you, Adam, for being here. You're awesome. And Keith E is here. Says Hooper was out at the local parade dressed like a patriot. I think that's what you meant. It's what he wanted to be, and he got lots of applause since he was the only hippo in the parade. Oh, so cute! I love your hippo, Hooper. And Keith E says Lance is ready to jump in. He just did a movie review on board of the 4th of July, and it was excellent. Okay, well, that is really good to know. Yeah, we're gonna try to get him on. Just give me a few minutes to at least say hello to everyone. Um, and let's see. Just gonna skip a little bit till we get to William Blake Hall, who's here. The 3 more years in America will be 1/4 of a millennium old. Wow. Did not know that. And let's see if I can skipping a little. Um, and let's see. Um, and William Blake Hall says, I've got 4 suggestions, but I wish I could make it 5. Um, and Outcast Creative says I've got mine's picked, and let's see. Um, And William Blake Hall says, I'm a little self conscious about yelling for happy Fourth since I lose track of how many of us aren't American. Yes. And want to say happy Patriots Day to everybody because I think that I do love my country and I even showed you guys my little flag that I was waving earlier. But I do love to see when other people are patriots, have display patriotism for their own countries as well. I think it's remarkable. And Keith E says, "Are you three?" But it's a pretty interesting grouping, all good behind that. Oh, I'm not sure what I don't think I remember what that was saying. And let's see. So sorry about that, guys. Wish I had it better. And William Blake Hall says, "Happy Fourth, RNG. Where are you? We need to get the ISFSS to track you down." So I really appreciate when you guys are that you guys stayed. Adam says, I'm listening to John Williams' great score to 4th of July, composed in 1989. He got one of his 50 plus Oscar nominations for that score. Wow, that's great. Um, that's the way to do it, guys. And listen to John Williams' score. Um, uh, and William Blake Hall always making turning something good into all this. Says, I'm glad we're late because I just now came up with my 5th suggestion. Oh, cool. And Lance Chapin says John Williams, the king of movie scores. Yes, isn't he? Isn't he just amazing? And uh, Oh, okay. And William Blake Hall says Williams is great, but I always hold a special place for Jerry Goldsmith. Oh, yes, they're both excellent, aren't they? They're just amazing. And let's see. I love this. Thank you for trying to help. William Blake Hall says maybe she can be 13 minutes late in honor of the original colonies. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Um and thank you so much. You guys are really sweet. I did the internet is fine. It was an accidental I clicked the wrong click. I thought I clicked, but I must not have clicked the right click or something, and I didn't double check um to see if it was accurately happening. So um I should have done a double check. Um, And after all, if her computer could have fell into a chipper. Oh man, okay. Um, and let's see. We've got a suggestion. Keith E says patent miracle Forrest Gump. And let's see. And let's see. Um, you guys are so sweet. You guys were trying to track me down. Thank you so much. I just you guys were so sweet trying to get a hold of me. I think YouTube kicks you out if the creator does not sign in within 30 minutes. So all of a sudden we could all be out in the cold. Oh no. Yes. Thank you guys for trying so hard. Oh look, Danny Staten is here. Says Happy Independence Day all. Greetings from South Carolina. Unicorn Rampant Studios here says everything seems great, RNG. And says big hugs everyone. Oh, thank you for being here, you guys. Yeah, I was gonna cry. I was gonna start crying, guys. um and Danny Stain says Thrash had to work today. No, he said to tell everyone happy 4th. Man, yeah, restaurants, a lot of people are going to restaurants and things like that and celebrations. um And Sean Holmes is here. Hello, Sean Holmes says happy 4th. Lance says is saying hi to Unicorn. And hi, John Orchid. Thank you for being here. And thank you 1776. That is the day that the year that we were became America, United States. And thank you so much for that wonderful super chat. Here's to your continued success. I can't stay, but I'm going with your independence. Thank you so much. And here's a wonderful thank you that I have. Uh, see here. Let's try this one. Oh, thank you so much. Oh my gosh. The Outcast Creator says, Retro Nerd Girl, just tweet me the link when you're ready. Okay, yes, I sure will. I just give me a few more moments. I'm just really still want to get through this as I see a couple of new faces that I want to say hello to. And John Walker's here. Happy Independence Day, RNG. Hello, happy Independence Day to you as well. And not sure where are you located? Yeah, I guys, if I don't know, like if you're not from the United States, let me know where you're at in the world. Would love to know what countries you're all from. Except for you, Outcast, we know where you're from. And Sean hosts, what is today the subject of conversation? Independence, resurgence. Oh, actually, just patriotic movies, and we extended it to all different types of patriotic movies from all over the world, just for the heck of it. And I see that Skywalker the Jedi is here. Says happy 4th of July retro. Hope you are having a great day and enjoying yourself very much. Thank you for continuing to be amazing. Oh, thank you so much. Just a wonderful guy there. My Star Skywalker the Jedi. Keep doing a great job on your channel and with the cell movement that you've got going on for Zack Snyder. You're just incredible. And Danny Staten is saying, I'm watching Will Smith kill the blank out of some aliens tonight. Happy Independence Day. Oh, That seems to be the go-to movie for a lot of people. Oh, look, it's Lord Top. How are you? How are you doing? Please say hello to the missus for me. And says, Happy Independence Day. So great to see you here. Happy Independence Day to you as well. Venkata is here, says, Happy 4th, listening to the stream while cleaning up my room to find space for you too. Many action figures for my. Too many action figures. What's up? Oh, so cool to hear from you, Venkata. Yes, definitely I have got to do the same thing too. I've got to make space for my action figures. And Danny Stan says, it'll be 96 here, feels like 101 with humidity. Wish I was out in the cold. And Lord Top, I was gonna post yours, but I have to, well, it's not really saying the bad words, but yes, I got hear ya. Laughs all around. But I definitely know that some families are watching, and my mommy might be watching too, and a few other people might be at work while they're watching. So, well, I'm trying to keep it PG. And William Blake Hall says, I repeat, all hailing frequencies open, Lieutenant Retro. And if you ever hear that from me, suspect that something is wrong. Yes. Oh, yes. And let's see. Um, and Outcast Creative says London, UK, but Danish here. And then he says, "Oh, too late. He's already saying where he's from." And Wax Woofer is here and says, "Happy Independence Day, one and all USA." Cool, yay! Happy Independence Day. And and Danny says, "Greetings from the South Carolina, the hillbilly capital of the USA." Yes, 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 yes. And Wex Woofer says, Angie, you have a great view of the fireworks from up here. Yes, I could see all of them. All of the fireworks. All right, so we finished that. I am going to put up this is my iconic list of patriotic movies. Guys, I was able to find 207 patriotic movies. Can you believe that? That's pretty impressive. And so I would love to hear as I go down I'm going to read quite a few of them, and then you guys can let me know which ones. And but before I do that, I'm going to see if I can double task. I'm going to need I need a producer so bad, but um, well, at least see if I had a producer, they would have told me like you're not live yet. Oh my gosh. So that's the thing. See, edit, invite guests. About this. Copy. Okay, I'm just sending Lance an invite because he says that he has some things that maybe he can show us before he has to do his own stream. So we don't want to take up too much of his time. Thank you for being so patient and with us. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to start this um, going. So patriotic movies, we've got 12 strong. Anybody here seen 12 strong? We've got 1917, that was done in 2019. We've got 1941, that was done in 1979. We've got the movie 300, which would be Greek, I would say patriotic movie. We've got A Few Good Men, 1992. I've seen that movie. A Man for All Seasons. 1966. A Nightingale Falling, 2014. Did anybody see that? A Nightingale Falling. We've got A Passage to India, 1984. We've got A Soldier's Story, 1984. A Very Long Engagement, 2004. A Walk in the Sun, 1945. Act of Valor, 2012. Air Force One, 1997. I believe I've seen that. All Quiet on the Western Front, 19. It says 1930, but I know that we had one last year as well, but that was uh, for Germany. All the President's Men, 1976. American Sniper, 1914. I'm sorry, 2014. A full 100 years after what I just said. American Warships, 2012. An American Tale, 1986. An American Tale 2, 1991. Angels 1-5, 1952. Antoine Fisher, 2002. Apollo 13, 1995. Argo, 2012. I hope I'm going to say this right. Bataan, 1943. Battle for Haditha, 2007. Battle Hymn, 1957. Battle of Britain, 1969. Battle of the Bulge, 1965. Battleship, 2012. Bow Guest, 1939. Behind Enemy Lines, 2001. Black Hawk Down, 2001. Born on the 4th of July, 1989. Braveheart, 1995. Bridge of Spies, 2015. Now I'm just going to B, and then we'll talk about the B's right there, from A to B, I guess, and see what you guys are thinking about this. Let's see. Um, and this is 207. William Blake Hall. I like 1917. Oh, okay. I see that Outcast Creative is in the green room, and so we're about to bring him on in a few moments. He's got his flag. And so listen, guys, just as a reminder, we want to keep the language very PG, okay? In case we have families watching. Okay. Hey, Outcast.
Hello. As this is a PG-rated program, I shall be doing today's presentation in a very posh English accent for the entire time. Is that satisfactory?
It sounds very official, actually. I might need you to do that more often. Okay, well.
I will do this on request whenever you like. But I'm not British. I'm actually Danish, and here is my Danish flag to prove it. Because the name Nilsson is Danish, so I have a Danish flag in my window, which had to be taken down when that terrorism thing happened with the Danish newspaper. And anyway, let's not go there.
Sure, but, yeah.
So this is a very impressive list, I must say, very, very impressive. I did want to show you something that I dug out today that I think you're just going to squirm over. Can you see this?
Okay, hold on. Let me see. I think there's a way to make you. Here, we'll do this. Here.
This is my tickets from the English premiere, very first UK screening of Born on the 4th of July at the Empire Leicester Square.
Very nice.
Because I just did a stream about Born on the 4th of July, and I've also got the vinyl here as well.
Oh, and wow.
Somebody commented on John Williams. The soundtrack for this is one of his best, and it's an interesting soundtrack because one side of the LP is all of Williams's score, and the other side is all the music and you tended with soundtracks, you tended to get one or the other. You tended to either get the score or you got the songs. This was the only one I think where they did half and half. So that's right next to my two Indiana Jones soundtracks, which are up there, by the way, Raiders and Last Crusade. So I've got several other things relating to the stream all around me, but I'll grab those as and when you bring them up.
Okay, yeah. Now, Keith E was mentioning that you had some other intel about the Born on the 4th of July. Did you have any other
Yeah, I don't know if people know this, but originally the script was option. It was written by Oliver Stone from the get-go, and Ron Kovic was heavily involved from the very beginning. But the original person signed up to play Ron Kovic was Al Pacino.
Oh, wow.
And the first attempt to make the film was in 1978. I think it would have been a very different film if it was made in that time period when the war was still very fresh and Pacino's approach to the role. I'm sure he would have done the character justice. But I mean, I followed Cruise's career since All the Right Moves, and I really saw him go all out for this part. You could just see his serious determination to prove he was actually an actor, not just a pretty face, and I really respected him for that. And I was actually rooting for him to win the Oscar when he was nominated, even though he lost to Daniel Day-Lewis. So the financing fell apart for that film.
Oh, really?
And then and Pacino walked away from it. And how it got bankrolled again was because of the success of Platoon. And because of the success of Platoon, they let Oliver Stone direct it. So when he wanted to do it after Wall Street, they just said yes, and the financing fell into place pretty quickly. But he didn't want Cruise to do the role, and Cruise had to really fight to do the role, to get the role, and he demanded a meeting with Stone in person, and Stone took the meeting really reluctantly. But then he thought, actually, because everybody sees Cruise in a certain way, if this pretty boy of the silver screen kind of falls from grace, that could work really well in the film, and I think it did. So I really like it in terms of the theme of patriotism, because it questions what that means and what happens when you think it means one thing and then you come into conflict with your own patriotism. For me, it's a film that explores that topic in a really interesting way, and I think in quite a it's not. I know everybody thinks as Oliver Stone as a left-wing guy, but I don't think the film is unpatriotic. I think it's very respectful of the veteran experience of the Vietnam War.
I thought so. I thought it was very respectful.
And I watched it only 2 weeks ago, and it still holds up really well. Are we getting a weird echo or something?
Oh, that's right. Yes, we are getting a weird echo, guys. When I have a guest on, I have to wear these. Here. So,
okay.
Forgive us for having an echo. Let me do this real quick. There we go.
Oh, there we go. Is that better? Sorry, everybody. I hope you could hear what I was saying. Is that all right? Does that sound better? I think that sounds a lot better. By the way, can I just say thanks very much for having me on yet again. I feel like if I don't have a collab with Retro every 10 days, my life is somehow missing something now. So I've done one stream already today, and I'm doing another one after this.
Okay, so what time is your stream today?
Oh, I'm okay. I'm good for the next 45. So I can stay with you for at least half hour, 45 minutes.
Okay. So let's make it count. Let me just go through the comments really quickly because I want to hear people are saying some interesting stuff here. Venkata says 300. I don't know what OFC means, but it is I guess for the Greeks, right? Venkata also says watched All Quiet on the Western Front last week. Loved it. And you did see that movie, didn't you?
I did. Yeah. I think I did a review of it actually. Or no, I did a stream. I did a watch party with RM
Mm-hmm.
of All Quiet on the Western Front. I mean, that's a really interesting film because again, it's a film about patriotism, but it's probably the ultimate anti-patriotism, anti-war film.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
you know, but it's a really good movie.
Very anti-war. Yeah. And so let's see. Um, William Blake Hall says that Argo is great. It's very much a tribute to Canada. Ooh.
I've got a funny story to tell people about that, but I'll save it for another time. But people should also watch The Canadian Caper, which is the first movie that told the same events. I saw that movie as a kid. It was shown on British television. I watched it when I was about 11. I didn't know anything about that whole episode. And that movie is actually really good. And Argo is just a straight remake of that film.
Really?
Yeah, but it's told from the film producer's, the agent's point of view,
Mm-hmm.
which is the different perspective. But The Canadian Caper is a good little movie.
All right. And Darth Plato's here. Hi, Darth Plato. How are you? Says Gettysburg. Obviously, yes.
Yeah, we did a stream about that just the other night.
Oh, really?
Watch party, yeah. And I have a friend in that movie as well. So
And William Blake Hall says, "Love Bridge of Spies. Great selection. Thank you for Casablanca." Is that? Yeah, that's you. You can see a little bit into the seas. um, and I guess that's
that's
you.
me. Yeah, I've got that B section I can talk about. I just watched Black Hawk Down 2 days ago as well. And I've got
Oh,
3
man.
friends in Black Hawk Down. So I heard all the behind the scenes stories of that. So it's a pretty interesting. We just did a stream about that actually.
Oh, cool. And Loretta says, as a Canadian, I respect. And says also, not sure why patriotic movies is being equated with a war movie. Yeah, it's true.
That's a
I hear you. I hear you. When I was doing the research, it just kind of gave me a whole bunch of things, and I put together the list. It wasn't a technical. I still need to do the research to make sure
well,
it's accurate. You know what I mean?
one of the first, it's a really good point because I thought that when I was actually picking stuff out earlier for the stream, I suddenly had a big collection of kind of warish or action films. And I was like, I need to pick out some others that I feel are patriotic films. And I'll give you one example. So, I mean, look, I'm not an American, but if I was, this would definitely be in my top 5 patriotic films. Because it's about an idealistic America and a time of naivety, and there's so many themes in Stand By Me about what makes America great, and it's that perception of America as a kid. You know, I think this is a great patriotic film. Personally, I'm not an
Interesting.
American. People may disagree, but that and obviously it's not a war film, but the war is discussed in it, though.
Interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting.
I've got
Um,
I've got a few more down there, but
and yeah, Darth Vader says some of this list is more of a Memorial Day list. Yeah, I don't disagree. um, and um, Darth says a quiet is a thing unto itself, isn't it? And Mankata says, I meant 300, of course, um, as I'm a Zack Snyder fan, of course. Well, you know, I'm a big Zack Snyder fan too, so it had to go on the list. Because, you know, and I think it was even, 300 was even used by many people to strum up patriotism for their countries as they were going to go off to war. And I guess when you think of patriotism at, you know, like there is like gentle patriotism, like I love my country, and then there's other like extreme, more like, hey, we're gonna go off to war to prove that we love our country. So,
sure.
so it is in it goes kind of hand in hand, but it doesn't always need to. But look also too, I please anybody in the chat, like if you can think of a movie just like Lance did, that's not necessarily a war film, that it feels like it is American Dreamish, or or has that. Oh, yes, Rocky.
Not a war film, but Cold War film. When you think about it, technically, it's a Cold War movie. Technically, when you think about the Cold War.
Even the first one now is like, it's a man chasing after, his dream, but that definitely, yeah, it has like a Cold War feel to it.
Now, Lord Thoth has mentioned Top Gun. Well, funny you should mention that, because I also have that.
I think Top Gun is on the list. And you know what else is probably like all the Bond movies.
Yeah, I mean, the Bond movies are very patriotic. I could get all my vinyls out of those, but
Oh, Lord.
got about 7 of them. Do you have this on the list?
What is that?
Red Dawn.
It probably is. I'll have to go look down. Let's see. I'll skip around and see.
For those people watching, this is the most
yes, it is.
This is the most expensive vinyl soundtrack I ever bought, because it was not available in the UK. This was an American import, and this was like £89. And my then girlfriend got it for me for my birthday.
Oh, that's nice.
She went up to town and got it for me as a birthday present, and they'd reduced it, I think, so we got it a little bit cheaper. But
Lord Top says, I miss the 80s. Yeah, there's so much about the 80s.
Yeah, cinemas with no phones. I miss cinemas with no phones. I really do.
And while they were in the Bees, I recommend The Best Years of Our Lives. Oh, okay.
Is that the movie with Robin Williams and Kurt Russell? Am I thinking of? Is that the right one?
It's not, but you know what? I would not know. You see, because I am like, I'm like, if it's science fiction, I'm there, but I have maybe a problem connecting with real life.
Retro,
let's have some therapy.
You feature in the real element of my life, and that is good enough for me. The film I'm thinking of is in I know it's in my new book.
Oh, hi, Sean.
Hey, Sean. I've seen Sean before many times. I think I might be thinking of The Best of Times. Sorry, slightly different movie. Best Years of Our Lives is an enduring favorite. That was the best. Yeah, Winter Soldier. That was the best of times.
Oh, William Blake Hall brings up a good one. People returning from the war to trying to readjust to American society. Yeah, that's a good one.
There's a lot of those.
And Mr. Smith Goes to Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely on the list. Yeah, that's on my list too.
It's two more rather obvious choices.
Yes, the Rambos. For some reason, I only have one Rambo movie, but all of them, right? All of the Rambo movies.
I don't have the soundtrack to First Blood. I've only got the second and third. Because the vinyl to First Blood, which was a sleeper hit initially, wasn't available in the UK.
The first.
Yeah, the first Rambo movie, which was just called First Blood, of course. I saw that on video. I didn't see that at the cinema.
I love that movie so much. Oh my God! When I was a kid,
I was blown away by it, because we kind of just rented it out, not really knowing what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as you got to that scene where he suddenly went through all the policemen in the police station, one of whom was the really young policeman from CSI Miami, the main guy with the ginger hair who always takes his glasses off in the slow motion. He was one of the cops. And he just goes through them like they weren't even there. And as soon as that scene was done and he's got on the bike, I turned to my friend and I went, "This is a good movie, isn't it? This is a good movie."
Moonbeam 87 says / Jack Kelly says, RNG, what's the topic Independence Day today. We celebrate our Independence Day. Yeah. Well, basically not independence movies, but patriotic movies, and we're spanning it all through for different countries as well. But it's really kind of cool to look at these and um, Darth Plato kind of let us was noticing that we did have quite a few that were war centric, and so we're also trying to rack our minds of any ones that we can remember that aren't necessarily like war movies, so to speak.
This edition comes with a kind of a 3D. Can you see that shimmers? See the way the explosion?
Hmm.
Look at that. Cool, right?
Oh yeah, the holographic
Yeah.
thing. Ah,
It's
cool,
the
cool, cool.
silver box limited edition 3 disc, and this is the extended version of the movie with all the cut scenes about the son who's got cancer, which was a subplot that they dropped from the cinema release. I
Mm.
don't know if you've seen the extended one, but it's worth watching.
No, I have to admit, I do admire the movie, but it is not my favorite. Um,
Oh, it
there
can.
are scenes that are just classic schlock. I find to be hilarious, but it's not. To me, it makes me laugh more than anything. But it's not exactly like technically like my favorite, but I will watch it I will watch it quite a bit. Um
It's a once a year movie for me.
Maybe like, oh really? Once a year?
Definitely watch it once a year for sure.
Wow.
Normally
Wow.
around the 4th, actually. I won't have time to watch it today, but
What is it
normally
that you really love about that movie?
I can tell you exactly actually because when I went to see it on the big screen, and I'm a kid who saw Star Wars in '77 at the cinema, giving away my age here. I was very young when I saw Star Wars. Um, so when I saw Independence Day, within the first 10 minutes, it was the first time I'd had goosebumps in the same way when I went to see the very first Star Wars film. I felt like I was seeing something that felt familiar, but something that I'd never seen before. And the effects of everything with the ships just blew me away. I just loved it. I thought it was just what cinema should be: bombastic, big, fun.
Mhm.
And I got
Yeah.
into it. It was silly. Absolutely, it was
I
nonsense, but it was
I
just
think
fun nonsense. Fun nonsense.
yeah, I think that's what I do like about it is the fact that it is kind of like over the top schlocky, big, like it's almost unreal, but also to like if you could
Yeah,
imagine that happening, it would be super terrifying. You never want that to actually ever happen.
yeah, yeah. It's
So
hey,
there's a lot about it that is definitely enjoyable. And
well,
I'm
They're coming soon. They're coming soon. Aliens are coming. I'm telling you.
they're not here already? I thought they were.
Well, they're here already, but I mean, they're going to be officially here soon.
Mm.
They're going to be officially here soon.
And so this seems like Moonbeam 87 Jack Kelly was just seeing me for the first time. Well, I've got like let's see how many. 61 live streams where I show my face in every last one of them. So there you go.
A face reveal? I'm pretty sure you've shown your face before. I'm
Well,
pretty
yes, I just started doing live streams in January, so I think
oh,
yeah, it must have been so I don't think YouTube like pushes out all of my videos to people, and I have no idea why, but I'm so glad that you are catching it now, Moonbeam, Jack Kelly. And William Blake Hall says my favorite part of Red Dawn is the threatening orange headlines before the movie even starts. Yeah.
I know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Wonder if he saw the TV miniseries called America. That was very patriotic. America spelt with a K. Does anybody else remember that with Chris Christopherson?
I've
Quite
heard of it. Yeah, I've heard of it. I've not really
yeah,
actually seen it.
it's
And oh, Winter Soldier's here. Hello, Winter Soldier. State of the Union, 1948. Oh, I hope that's on my list. I'll just double check. Um,
Ali Egan's asking, where did you get your outfit? So if you look at the James Bond film Moonraker, You'll see it's pretty similar to what a lot of the ladies are wearing in that.
Yes, and see, um,
Yeah, I remember
um,
Firefox.
and, Sean Ennis, says that was the best of times with Kurt, and
Yeah, that was
Robin.
the film I was remembering, the one that wasn't quite the same.
Mhm. Those are the years from 1947. Stars Harold Russell, as the man who lost his hands in combat in real life. Ooh,
Yeah, right, okay. Oof, yeah, that's pretty
yikes.
heavy.
Yeah. Moonbeam 87, Jack Kelly says people looking at their phones these days, however, didn't have booster seats in the cinema. If they did, nobody told me. Yes.
It was called My Dad's Knee in my day.
Those boosters. And I missed Starman and 2001 because no boosters. So, let's see.
Starman. That's interesting because I think I have that. Have you seen that movie, Retro?
Which one?
Starman.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. Yeah.
It's a
Sean
really,
Ennis,
really good film.
Sean Ennis says, I used to have that same motorcycle Stallone steals in First Blood. Um, And I'm just gonna skip down, guys. I
Wow.
hope you don't mind. Sickness is here. How you doing, Sickness? Happy 4th Retro. Hope you have a good one. And Brogy says, RNG, I saw this brand new movie set in World War II called Sisu. Oh, did
Yeah.
you or our outcast happen to see it? I didn't see it.
I've seen it. I saw it the day it came out. Anything World War II, I'm there like that. Very good. I give it an 8.5 out of 10.
Really?
Superb film. Yeah. It's got about 10 lines of dialogue in the whole movie. Wasn't this on your list as well?
I can't see it. Oh,
Pretty
well,
close.
let me give you
American.
American Tail. Yes, that's
Yeah.
on the list.
I
Yes.
saw that in the cinema with my first girlfriend. Yeah. Going back a ways.
Yes, I've got that on the list as well. And Lord Top says, I do love Independence Day. Uh,
Yeah.
and Allie Egan is here. Says, where did you get your outfit? Okay, you were reading that. Yes, I did get it. I got it from Amazon. You can get anything you want from Amazon. I would say like everything in this place is Amazon. Shannon says, remember Clint Eastwood in Firefox? There was so much U.S. versus USSR stuff back then. Yeah, and they're actually bringing a lot of that back. I noticed they are kind of like reverting back to the old ways of the 80s and
Well,
90s.
yeah. That was based on a book, a best-selling book, and it was actually a pretty good film, apart from the kind of Star Wars trench sequence.
Oh, really?
Yeah, use the Force, Luke. I mean, think in Russian at the end, and it's a bit like, yeah. Okay. Somebody mentioned Starman, so I thought I'd show you that. I've got
Oh, cool.
nearly all of early John Carpenter's soundtracks on vinyl.
Yeah.
This was a really underrated film, I thought. I definitely need to do a retro review of that one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Starman's pretty interesting. I did like that movie. I thought it was funny too.
Yeah, and it's very touching. It's a very touching film.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
And Karen
Oh,
Allen is
yeah,
really
she's
good in it,
wonderful.
She's
Yeah,
really
she's wonderful. I really wish she had done more work.
Yeah.
Um, but otherwise than that, I think I think her career, like the things that she chose were really perfect for her personality. And William Blake Hall says we've discussed America before, Christopherson along with Sam Neill. Yeah, we were talking about that.
I think we did talk about it before. I thought maybe it was on another stream, but maybe
Yeah,
I'm not going to dig it out, but I do also have the vinyl soundtrack to Iron Eagle. I Yes, I have.
Yeah, Laura Judd says, yeah, Iron Egan, Firefox, etc.
Yeah.
Um,
I think the music
and
for Firefox is
oh,
pretty good.
and Moonbeam 87, Jack Kelly says Starman was 84. Yes.
Yeah.
And uh, let's see. And
Yeah, I had to
was
lie
it?
about my age to get into that movie,
Oh,
actually.
really? Well, how
Yeah.
old were you? You were like,
Well, it was a double A when it was released in the UK, which was 16 or over, and I was definitely under that at that time. So,
oh, okay, yeah.
by a few
And
years.
Moonbeam 87, Jack Kelly says that he was 10 when he saw American Tail. And John Walker says Firefox is awesome. The design of the MiG looked great. And
Yeah,
Hungry
that was
Jerk is here. Hello, hi, Hungry Jerk. So glad you're able to meet with us today. Getting ready to see the new Indiana Jones movie, first run movie I've seen since a
Force
Force
Awakens.
Awakens. Oh wow, oh wow.
Yeah, I just saw Indy a couple of days ago, and it's the first time I've been to the cinema in absolutely ages. And considering I went on the opening night, the fact that there was only 14 people in a 300-seater cinema just goes to show how it's changed. People aren't going. That's a big event movie in Indiana Jones film. You'd expect a Friday night to be packed, even in a local screen, and it wasn't. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It's really doing very bad at the box office, which is really sad. It's a sort of a bad outcome for such a great legacy,
I
and
know.
so
I love the
uh,
first three. I love the first three movies,
oh yeah,
especially the first and the third. I like Temple of Doom, but not as much as the other two.
yeah. My one of my favorites has to be the Temple of Doom, but I didn't really think much of the first one. Well, I did love the first one when I first saw it, but then I lost my love for it, and then I saw it recently again and reviewed it, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is amazing!" So I've been back and forth which one is my favorite, whether it's the first one or the second one, and the Doom is definitely has a special place in my heart because it really made it was it was probably the most lightest of all of them, and the more suited for children, I guess.
What
The most
Temple of Doom? You're joking, aren't you? That's the
yeah, it was
darkest.
so hilarious to me. I was dying. I
That's
was loving it.
everybody knows that's the darkest one. Someone's
Oh
getting
my
their heart
god,
ripped out.
it was great. As a what? How old was I when that came out?
There's like sacrifices to gods and
It was
hearts exploding out of
wonderful.
stomachs and children being enslaved and people being crushed in the. That's the darkest of. Everybody says that's the darkest one.
I'm sure, yeah. But for me, I thought it was very light-hearted and charming.
I love it. You're brilliant. This is just excellent. Excellent.
I was a
Oh,
twisted little kid. And Daryl Johnston is
no
here.
comment.
Hello, Daryl Johnston. How are you? Says and says hi to Tom, who is Hungry Jerk. Says my niece liked it. Um, and that is the force. I guess that is Indiana Jones movie that just released. And so let's see. Daryl Johnson mentions the right stuff
Good
in
film.
the
I saw
three,
that.
four.
I saw a 70 millimeter print of that on a re-release in the 90s.
Yeah, and William Blake Hall wants me to look at the move on to C, and which we will in a few moments.
Yeah.
And it's Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs is here. Hello, Courtney. So great to see you. Says hello. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with us for a little bit. And Moonbeam 87, Jack Kelly says, "Oh wow, Laserdisc Starman Karen Allen was in the first and fourth Indiana Jones. So I was just cutting my teeth on reviewing when American Tail came out, and I started young because of Rated K.
So just to correct Moonbeam, these are not laser discs. These are vinyl soundtracks. So everything I'm holding up is a vinyl record. Somebody mentioned how great Jerry Goldsmith was. This is my favorite Jerry Goldsmith score, which is Extreme Prejudice. Great movie with Nick Nolte. One again, I'll probably do a retro review of at some point. Directed by Walter Hill. And I had the stunt coordinator on my channel from this a few weeks ago, so we got to talk about it at length, which was lovely.
I think Keith E had a great question before, and I'm not sure. I think we skipped it. He asked, "How many albums do you have? Do you think, like, estimate?"
I've probably got about 300 film soundtracks on vinyl. Wow. Probably about another 300 on CD.
That's a fan.
and the funny thing is, I no longer have a vinyl record player or now a working CD player. And there's a shop up the road from me that specializes in selling vinyl decks, but he's a rip-off merchant. Everybody's telling me don't buy from him. So I'm just waiting until I've got enough money, because it's a bit of I've got to shell out on speakers and all of that. It's a bit of a big commitment.
Yeah. I used to have a lot of vinyl. I gave them away, and then I had like a whole bunch of VHS. I have a big. I kind of cut them down to just a small box of VHSs. And no player, right? And I've got a whole bunch of CDs. And I do have a CD player within my laptop, but like it's like physical media, like how,
Yeah, well, I mean, this is a small fraction of what I've got behind me, and I mean, they're out of reach. I could show you, but I deboxed all my DVDs because I got about 2,000, and I put them all into DJ cases. So I've got big DJ cases full of the films. I've still saved all the covers. I binned all the boxes because I could reorder those if I ever wanted to rebox them up. Unless they were special kind of boxes, I kept them. And I've got about 6 VHS left. I do still have a working VHS recorder in mint condition, which I'm keeping just in case. And it's also a good prop for a movie in case you want to dress a set and you need a VHS recorder, or a stage play or something. So, but my last CD player, it just kept jumping. Every time I put in it, they just kept jumping. And so I've been that. And I can play them off of the Xbox or whatever, but it's just such a big physical effort to go and get them and put them in. I've got all the same soundtracks saved on my YouTube playlist, so I might as well just whack them on there.
Yeah. Patrick says, Daryl, I just watched Crystal Skull, The Last Crusade, for the first time the other day. Wow.
Interesting. Which of those did you prefer? I would like to know. Crystal Skull or The Last Crusade? Which one did you prefer? I know which one I preferred.
Yeah, the Last Crusade for me, because Crystal Skull, I like the premise. I thought it was a great premise. I thought it had a lot of great ideas and didn't follow through with all of them. And why have Mutt there if he wasn't gonna take over?
Yeah.
It was, the opportunity was right there. It was right in your hands. It was right in the hands.
Okay. Talking of The Last Crusade, check these out. Opening night, London, Indiana Jones. Actually, that's when I went on the Saturday. I went twice. So I've got tickets. I took one group on the Saturday, and then the opening night was on the Wednesday. So these are the tickets from the Saturday, but I've got the tickets for the Wednesday as well. And that's the same screen that I saw Born on the 4th of July in. That was a 70mm print of Indiana Jones. So that was the opening Saturday. Completely packed out. That's a cinema that seats 900 people. Not a single seat left anywhere. Totally packed out. I'm going to see Mission Impossible, the new one, there in I think about 10 days. I just bought my tickets today. So we'll see. This is also from the same screen. These are the tickets for True Lies. and that's the same screen. You can see at that point it's got a different owner, UCI, but that's the same screen as the others. So, because these cinemas, they change hands as often as you change presidents, you know, once every few years. So,
Sean Ennis says, good call on the right stuff. My dad was an Air Force fighter pilot during that time, so I loved all that stuff. Aw.
yeah, it's a good movie. Good.
Daryl said, The Last Crusade was good. The Crystal Skull was too much.
We agree.
Okay, so there's two moments in the Crystal Skull that really lost me. Like, I was cool with the aliens and the spaceship and all that stuff. I was even okay with the atom bomb, refrigerator scene.
Fridge thing, right?
Yeah. It was those monkeys flying, swinging, the
And the
swinging monkeys
CGI ants and the CGI ants.
and the CGI ants.
Yeah.
Those two were just, it was like, come on.
I
It's
hated
step
those
too
bits.
far. Yeah. Otherwise, everything else was decent. Good
I didn't
story.
mind the aliens. I thought the alien thing was
I
kind of
thought,
cool. I
yeah,
didn't mind that.
yeah, I thought it was great.
I would have loved an Indiana Jones Roswell tie-in movie, and I actually kind of thought maybe that was what we were going to get, and tie it all into the events of Roswell with Indy being there, and you know the spaceship being packed off in the box at the end again, like into the room with all the other boxes with the Ark. That would have been really good. But
Something. Well, even in that movie, they messed up that that room too. Remember, in the beginning of the movie. And
Yeah.
so it's like, okay, so are you dismantling everything?
Retconning stuff is really
Just leave
yanks
it
on my
there.
chain.
Yeah, just leave it alone.
Have
Anyway,
you seen
Ali.
have you seen the fifth one?
Oh no, I haven't seen that yet.
Well,
Yeah.
that's conversation for another time.
Yes, that will definitely be for another time. Ali Egan says it's supposed to be dark, but it's a bit corny. Haha. Yeah, I thought so too. I thought it was really corny, but corny in the best way. Yes. Talking about Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Rogue says don't the Indiana Jones movie count as the patriotic movie review that we're doing? I think they do because he is usually collecting these things for America. So we'll add that in there. Why not? And yes, Daryl agrees. Says yes, it does, Rogu. And Mikata says I love the Indiana Jones franchise. Favorite one is The Last Crusade. Although really hate Temple of Doom for its racist and stereotype portrayal of India. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that got a big backlash in India for that. I remember that.
A lot of people, and it's really interesting because there's a lot of people who are like, they're like, well, doesn't, I don't care. But and other people, it is a really serious issue. So let's see. And Courtney says happy 4th to all. Oh, thank you, Courtney. Happy 4th to you as well. And vinyl is the way to go. Yeah, it's like I'm really always surprised how pristine you have your vinyl. So definitely that is really cool that you have taken care of them so well. And Unicorn Rampant Studio says, "Hey, all listening in while playing video games. Oh, cool." We were wondering why you were so quiet. So good to know that you're there. And it's Courtney Fellowship of Oddball says, I like Michael
Kamen.
Kamen Rip
Michael Kamen.
for soundtrack. For soundtracks, Brazil is amazing. Yes, I got to work with him luckily in 1999. Oh wow!
Yeah, he was widely spoken of very, very nicely and very highly in the industry. He did the soundtrack to Die Hard. That was one of his big breaks, I believe.
Oh yeah, great one. And Hungry Jack says I met Karen Allen about 5 years ago. We went out for a few drinks, and she was.
I
really
bet
nice.
you did. I bet more than a few drinks. I bet. Yeah.
You think so?
she can hold her own on the drinking department.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And Keith says, everybody, here goes the thrift shop Salvation Army to buy VCRs and recorders. Yes. And 80s made consumers here. Hello. Great to see you in the chat. And
yeah, 80s made consumer here too.
yeah, it's so cool. And let's see. And Courtney says, yeah, he was my conductor in college. Ooh, for a special event, and I was picked for a small group with him. Cayman was so talented and also an oddball, which is a compliment. Yeah.
I think that's a description that could apply to both of us also. So we'll take that.
Yes, you don't get to have the name nerd in your name without being a little odd and unusual. And Moonbeam 87 Jack Kelly says, "Oh, Empire Records."
I really like that film. That's a great movie. Really like that movie.
Yeah, let me write that down. Okay, so we do need to get to the C's really quick because there's some really good ones in there. So
I didn't see all the ones in B, but never mind.
you may have been just.
Well, yeah, okay.
Well, here's
not a lot, nothing really to add to those. I love the Battle of Britain. That's a great film. People should watch it if they haven't seen it. Yeah, very young Michael Caine.
Okay.
In there.
All right. So yeah, we've got all the Bravehearts and the Bridge of Spies. Okay.
Chisholm. That's an interesting choice. Chisholm.
Okay. So we've got Captain America: First Avenger 2011, Captain Phillips 2013, Casablanca 1942, Catch 22 1970, Centurion 2010, Chimes at Night 1965, Chisholm 1970. Thanks for helping me to pronounce that. I would not have done that without your help. Cinderella Man 2005. Clear and Present Danger, 1994, Cold Mountain, 2003, Coming Home, 1978, Courage Under Fire, 1996, Crimson Tide, 1995.
Love Crimson Tide. Such a good film. That's the last of your C's, I think.
Yeah, that's the last of the C's. So we could do D really quickly. Das Boot, 1981, Dead Man Walking, 1995, Defiance, 2008, Deliverance 1972, Dirty Harry 1971, Dr. Zhivago 1965, Downfall 2004, and Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop the Worrying and Love the Bomb 1964, and then finally Dunkirk 2017.
You could argue the original Dunkirk is also, which has a better script, by the way, is also patriotic. I would say it's more patriotic than the 2017.
Do you happen to remember the year at all?
Yeah, it came out in 58, I believe.
Great.
And it's a very old. I think it was Ealing Studios that made it, and I mean, some bits of it have not dated well, but it's got a very young Richard Attenborough in it, who of course was the professor in Jurassic Park.
Okay. Oh, and Simply Steve is 68 is here and says, yes, no spoilers, please. Yes, nobody, please. We're still gonna, I still plan on watching in the, so no spoilers if you can help it, or any of the movies that are still in theaters right now, if it's at all possible.
Escape from Sobibor, by the way, which is on your list there. Gotta say that's an absolutely fantastic film. It's a made-for-TV movie, but did really, really well on video, which is where I first saw it. And it stars Rutger Hauer and the late Alan Arkin, who we just lost. I think is also. I think he's also in it. I think he is.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he's in that too. That's a great film. Really love that film.
And Moonbeam is letting us know that the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull was in the 50s. The other three were in the 40s. Yeah, I liked everything that was happening in the 40s. Just had more, like the 50s seemed to be out of, when indies seemed to be out of time. I think
50s. Actually Raiders of the Lost Ark is actually set in the 30s. I don't think the full war has started yet. I think it's set in like 37. or 38, because the war hasn't started.
Okay, because I heard recently that Temple of Doom was actually supposed to be a prequel.
Yeah, it's set before Raiders, and
Yeah, which I thought was really
set in
interesting.
like it's set in like 33 or something. That's right.
And what happened to the mystery of all time? What happened to Short Round? What happened to him in the story?
He won an Oscar for his
Like,
latest
I mean,
performance in a time travel movie.
but
So maybe,
like, you know, in the story, like we need to know what happened to Short Round. And also that actor is pretty dynamic as a martial arts as he displayed.
I would have been quite happy to have him come back. I mean, he's a good actor. I would have been really happy to have him come back as an adult, do some kind of, some kind of ninja thing, and then
I
suddenly they look at each other and he goes, "Short round, Indy,"
Yeah,
that
yeah.
would have been
Well,
a
and
really
I
cool moment.
bet, like, they must be kicking themselves
Yeah,
because, what an opportunity lost. What an
yeah,
opportunity lost, and the fans would have been all for it. We would love to see Short Round,
yeah.
go on ahead and do something like that.
He annoyed me when I first saw him in the movie, but on subsequent watches, his character
Oh,
really grew on me.
yeah, he's amazing. I thought he
Yeah,
was so cute too, and
and
he's like,
they've
"Doctor
they've
Jones, Doctor Jones."
they've kind of got a short round. They've kind of got a short round too in the new one. I won't say more, but
Yeah, I heard about that, and yeah,
yeah,
let's drop it right there.
yeah,
We
brilliant.
don't take substitutions around here.
Oh.
Simply Steve says, and this one takes place in the 60s, yes.
Yeah,
Um,
well,
and let me just
69 to be precise.
69?
Yeah, because
Oh, great.
the men have just landed on the moon and they've just come back.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
So you've got the parade for landing on the moon. I think it's the parade of landing on the moon rather than going into space, because
Oh, okay.
it's the 3 astronauts, not 1. So
And
um,
Shannon says that Karen seemed like a great actor to me. She does. She seems like really ground to earth and like conversational. Um, and um, and oh, Brogu says that he has about 300 vinyl records, all rock, heavy metal, jazz, and R&B. Wow, what a nice collection!
yeah,
What a nice
I've got some early 80s heavy metal, but they're not in the film section. So
yeah.
my Maiden records are elsewhere.
Oh, what? Hunt those down.
Yeah.
Keith, he says, hit the like button. Yes, thank you so much.
Okay.
And oh, we've got the official approval. Courtney has said that she has knighted us. She has
Yeah.
knighted us with the honorable title of Oddballs. Thank you
So,
so much, Courtney. You're
tell me
awesome.
something I don't know.
And well, it's nice to get the official knighthood of it.
Yeah.
And Sean and it says, I don't see the bridges of Tokyo
Re.
Marie with William Holden and Grace Kelly. Ooh, let's look.
By
It,
the
it,
way,
it would be under the right.
retro. This is my pile of cinema tickets from that box.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me just look to see if
And that it's a
uh,
lot.
the no, I don't see it. Okay, so well, it looks like we need to add that to the list.
I mean, but then
Um,
I don't know. I mean, like, is that a particularly patriotic? Because if you're going to add every war film that has got a patriotic character in it, you're going to have to add every war movie to that list. So
well, I'm not opposed to that. I mean, I think
no, I mean
there
I'm
is
not either.
something
But you're going to have 5,000 films on it pretty soon.
that we want the complete list, right? I want to know it all. Let me
Yeah.
also, if Sean, if you could, get the year for me, that would be awesome. So I can just put it on my little list over here. Thank you so much. This is great. I'm gonna have the most complete list ever. And Hungry Jerk says, she was nice, but I liked partying with rock stars. Ah, yeah, I see ya. I see you. And William Blake Hall says the ending credits for alone for Captain America First Adventure are amazing. Wow. Very patriotic. Also like Clear and Present Danger. Great.
Mm.
Yes. Great ones.
Bridges at Tokyo Re was 1954, by the
Okay.
way.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. 1954.
Yeah, I thought it was 59, but yeah, 50. And Mickey Rooney was in that movie. I always
Oh,
remember.
really?
Yeah, I always remembered Mickey Rooney. I'm a big William Holden fan as well. Who of course was in the Sam Peckinpah film.
And Simply Steve says, I love Doctor Strangelove. It was quite the movie. It has me like, I was dying laughing the whole way through. And William Blake Cole says, Dr. Zhivago, interesting choice. Short of patriotism by sheer endurance, also liked Dunkirk. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't sure about Dr. Zhivago, but it was suggested, and I was like, okay, well, we'll see what what you guys say. Let me know if there's anybody who was opposed to that. Courtney says, I loved Braveheart. I know I'm behind. Oh, you're right on time. um,
That's another film I watch once a year. It's just
yeah,
a really easy movie to put on and just watch. Braveheart.
yeah, a lot of people really like that movie.
Yeah.
Um, it's inspiring. And that's another thing too. A lot of these patriotic movies are very inspiring, right? Um, that's why we love them, and even though we may not hail from the country, that they're uh, patriot, being patriot to take about, we
Sure.
still love that. How inspiring it is to that the inspiration that they inspire, if you will. Winter Soldier says, I had the same thought
Have you
about.
seen Downfall Retro? It's on your
No,
list.
I have not. No.
You definitely need to watch that. I'd be very interested to know what you think of it.
Okay. William Lake Hall says, I agree with Outcast about Escape from
Yeah.
Sobador.
Uh,
And yes, Alan Arkin is in it.
yeah, he
Oh.
plays the tailor or the shoemaker, I forget which, but yeah, great film. Great film. So sad he's gone.
And 1956, D-Day, 6th of June. I'm not sure if that's the name of the movie.
It is. It
Um,
is. It is the name of the movie. It's a
okay.
sort of B movie war film. That's predominantly a romantic love story that's got a bit of action at the end, but that is the name of the film, correct?
All right. Thank you guys. You guys are really filling in the blanks here for me. Um, Again, like I'm a sci-fi girl, so I'm more into that stuff. And Simply Steve says, I saw Tora in high school history class.
Yeah, that's a good film. I'm planning on doing an edit of Pearl Harbor and Tora together as one long movie.
Hmm.
Nicking all the best effect shots from Pearl Harbor and editing them into
Wow.
Tora, basically. Yeah.
And Moonbeam says, well, the fridge scene in Crystal Skull is gonna be in
This is not an
BTTF.
indie. This is not
Uh,
an indie stream.
but Indiana Jones got it. Indiana Jones was named after the dog of George Lucas. Indiana was also the inspiration for Chewbacca. Sweet. A little bit of trivia there for indie fans. And William Blake says Raiders starts in 1936. The war
Yeah.
is stuck in Europe, but America doesn't enter until 1941.
Yeah.
And Hungry Jerks mentions The Great Escape. And
Definitely a patriotic film. That. Yeah.
oh, I'm just a little behind here. Let me just catch up real quick. Moonbeam says Short Round is also named after a dog. That's so crazy. And William Blake also says Exodus, good call. And Hungry Jerry says when Short Round was in the Goonies, I wanted to tape his mouth shut. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm one of the few people that doesn't really like the Goonies, but don't hate me.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Goonies. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I need to re-see it. You know what? I need to see it again
Yeah,
because
me too. I
it's
do.
been many years, and I might feel differently about it now.
Yeah, same,
Um,
same.
and Brooklyn said, like when Short Round said, "No time for love, Dr. Jones."
Yeah, that's
He said,
no,
"We
no,
will not.
boom, boom, we go, no, boom, boom, something like that. Yeah.
He says, "Hey, lady, you call him Dr. Jones."
I mean, he has got some good lines in it.
Oh man. Sorry. And they said, Winter Soldier says Data was the best Goonie. Oh, and Sin Havoc 5150 is here. Says hi, Retro Nerd Girl, and I get the two powerful hearts, the red one and the purple one. I mean, I think I
Yeah.
level up just from that alone. And then a quick shout out to Outcast with a fist bump.
I get a fist instead. I'm not sure what that means, but thank
A
you.
fist bump, you know those
Oh, okay.
things were like
Yeah,
that,
there we
like
go.
that. Those are the coolest.
Yeah.
And just saying, just general, saying hi to everybody in the chat. And it says True Bridges of Toko Ri is a very fatalistic story. Another Korean War era story. Holden is a favorite of mine. Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people, a lot of the characters die in that film.
Oh
Uh,
no.
yeah, it's a bit of a grim movie. It's good.
Get your tissues out for that.
Hey, you got a super chat. You got a super
I got
chat.
a super chat. Okay, let's see. Okay, let me check. Thank you for letting me know. You are so sweet. Oh wow. Unicorn Rampant Studio, so sweet. The $7 super chat. Also dislike the Goonies. Yay.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't hate it or anything. There was so many other better films out at that time. Just didn't
Oh
do it for
man.
me.
Yeah, no, I have to see it again to confirm whether I didn't totally like it, but it didn't hit anything like special with me. But let's give Unicorn a special thank you. Very much appreciate your presence and also this wonderful super chat. We were both dancing behind.
I couldn't see whether you were dancing or not, but I
I was
was.
dancing and there you
Oh. Were we in sync? That would have been
yeah, we were. Yeah, we were. Simply she says, did you know that George Lucas used a plane crashing into the control area of a ship scene to make the scene of the Rebel Alliance a wing go into the control area of the SSD in
yeah, the Superstar
our
Destroyer.
yes.
So
Um,
he means the scene where, um, you know, the put the bridge deflector shields up. Too late. Ship comes flying in, explodes. The guys go flying forward. I can.
that was Return of the Jedi. Yes.
Yeah, and then it crashes down into the Death Star. I didn't know that actually. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. And so gotta go. Hungry Jake says, "Gotta go, everyone. Time for the new indie movie. Well, have
My
fun."
condolences. My condolences.
No, he's gonna have a good time.
Sorry.
He's gonna have a good time. And don't you be just, I can't. That's okay, Moonbeam. You're totally fine. I
Yeah.
know a lot of places they don't talk to the people in the chat unless they super chat, and I don't think that's fair. If you guys came, I will try to comment as much as possible. I can't get every comment, but I'll do my best.
Yeah. What are you going
Um,
to do when you've got 1,000,000 subscribers, Retro
I
America? You got 2,000 people in the chat. How's that going to work?
well, that's when I need A producer. Okay. If I have 1 million subscribers, hopefully I'll be able to afford a producer by then, uh, who can like help me with some of the stuff.
That's what's known as a champagne problem.
Yes. And Moonbeam says that I love Gem from the 80s. Okay. Yeah, I do too. um, all right. So, oh, that video reminded you of Gem. Oh, yes, yes, there was a couple of clips from Gem in there. I gotcha, I gotcha. And Daryl Jones says, Doc Savage, the Man of Bronze, 75. Do you know that film at all?
You know what? That's one I haven't seen, and I've seen nearly all the ones on your list, and I think I own most of them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I mean, I remember a movie called Man of Bronze. I don't remember a movie called Doc Savage, Man of Bronze. So maybe it was in the UK, maybe it was called Man of Bronze. And I think I saw it and I got bored. So,
Ooh,
but then I would have
okay.
been very young in 75. So, you know,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
wasn't, if James Bond wasn't shooting ninjas, you know, I disengaged fairly quickly when I was a wee kid. Because
yeah.
I was brought up on action movies like Where Eagles Dare, you know, You Only Live Twice, and
Mm-hmm.
Wild Geese. So I kind of, you know, wanted laser guns or shooting to keep me engaged. Now I'm into much more cerebral offerings as well as those things.
Yes, you've grown up and your tastes have changed, but you
Well,
still like the stuff that you
my
like,
my,
but
my
you're
taste has expanded. It's expanded.
expanded. It's
It's expanded.
expanded. And Unicorn Rampant Studios, thank you for the wise words. Says, we'll burn that bridge when we get there. Get your lighter fuel fluid ready, and your
Can we
and you.
can we see some more of the list?
Yes, absolutely. And we're just gonna get William Blake Hall says, Doc Savage is a misfire. They went overboard making it campy and silly. Is
Yeah,
that
that
what
I think I
happened?
did. I think I did see it. Campy and
Mm-hmm.
silly sounds familiar. Um,
Bro, good. No, absolutely not. You're crazy. First of all, I'm not gonna get 2 million subscribers. Even if I did it we're that will not happen for many, many years. And by then, I, you know, do not worry. I will not forget anybody. And Holden Films, Shannon says Holden Films Picnic Sunset Boulevard Bridge over the River Kwai, Devil's Brigade.
yeah,
Brigade.
Devil's Brigade. Brigade's a great film. That's a good film.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's definitely not on my list. So I'm gonna have to write that down. And Daryl Johnson says, "Have no fear, Doc Savage is here." Is that
I wouldn't say the Devil's Brigade is a patriotic film. It's just a World War II semi-true action, guys on a mission action movie. I don't think it's particularly a patriotic movie. Unless you say the Wild Bunch is a patriotic movie, but again, I would argue it's not.
mm.
Or the Dirty Dozen.
Oh, well, Beam, you're so sweet. Because 1 million subs would be nice.
Yeah.
So, what I'm gonna do is gonna continue to read a little bit
Yeah.
more,
Let's
because you're coming to the end, right? You're about to go soon.
We're on later than I thought. I've got the countdown in front of me. I've got about 25 minutes.
Okay,
Um,
you're playing it close. Okay, thank you for doing that on our behalf. And
that's all right.
if anybody has like a double screen, if you wanna like have us both up there, you can. I know I've done that sometimes, just try to support my friends. Now Dunkirk.
You're welcome to come and jump on ours when you're finished here if we're still going.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Let's see. Dunkirk. So Dunkirk was the last one. So Enemies at the Gates, 2001. Escape
Yeah.
from Sorbidor, 1987. Exodus, 1960. Eye in the Sky, 2015. Now under F's, we've got Failsafe, 1964. First Blood, 1982. And I would suppose that would be all of the well, there was
Rambo.
only one. There was only one First Blood, really, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then Flags of Our Fathers, 2006. Flight of the Intruder, 1991. Flying Tigers, 1942. Forrest Gump, 1994. That's well, there was a little fighting in there. Free State of Jones, 2016. Full Metal Jacket, 1987.
Mm.
And I'm just gonna touch on the G's really quick.
Mm.
I'm not sure if I'm gonna get the name right here. Gallipoli,
Gallipoli. Gallipoli.
Gallipoli.
Gallipoli.
Okay. Ooh,
Yeah.
what is that? Greek? Gallipoli?
It's the name of the I think it's either the bay or the area where this big fleet of Allies World War One landed and caught the Germans and the Turkish off
Oh,
guard. And
okay.
they tried to outflank them, but they didn't advance inland quick enough, and it became a bottleneck and was a massive military disaster.
Holy moly. Okay, Gallipoli, 1981. Gandhi,
Gandhi,
1982. Gettysburg, as we mentioned earlier,
yeah.
1993. Glory, 1989. Gods and Generals, 2003. Gone with the Wind, 1939. Good Morning Vietnam, 1987. Green Berets, Beret, in 1968. Grindhouse, 2007. Really? And Guadalajara, Guadalcanal Diary,
Canal.
1943.
I don't understand why Grindhouse is a patriotic film, but I
That
might
one
be
I don't
missing
like.
something.
Yeah, that one was
Um,
that one was wild. Not sure that would make it, but
on your list, I also have this. Good morning, Vietnam. Man, Robin Williams just makes this film what it is.
John Walker says, "Does Jaws count as a patriotic film?"
Well, I mean, the shark was being patriotic to his waters.
Yeah,
More of a territorial movie, I would.
yeah.
It is set on the 4th of July weekend. That's true.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see
'cause
what you
the
mean.
beaches,
William
the
Blake
beaches will
Hall.
be open this weekend.
Thank
Yeah.
you, William Blake Hall. You're a genius. um, and let's see. Um, yes, Daryl also agrees. Everybody's agreeing with that.
Hmm.
And Sean Ennis says Wild Bunch Brigade are not patriotic per season. Agreed, but why is Dirty Harry on the list? It's been tough to decipher what you're looking for. Well, it's a little, yeah, you're right. I mean, we're trying to expand past just the war movies and also do like Americana kind of type movies.
Hmm.
And um I don't know, maybe Dirty Harry doesn't belong in there, but he's sort of like an iconic anti-hero, if you will. Um, what do you think about that, Outcast?
Um, no, I've got to say no. Because he he's patriotic to his job, but I think that's a little bit pushing the because you could also argue that he doesn't entirely stick to the rules because he's Dirty Harry. He does push.
Oh, he does his own thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he does push the rules to the limit, but what he doesn't do is murder people because he thinks they committed or because he knows they committed a crime. He'll push the law to the absolute limit. But I mean, that doesn't make him a patriot. That just makes him a sort of lovable, roguish cop. And I just don't. I've got to say, I think that's a bit outside.
It's outside. Okay.
For me,
We
it's
gotta put him in a good category, him and Cobra.
Oh, I
Cobra.
mean, but yeah, kind of cool cops that get the job done.
Mhm.
That's a pretty big list right there.
Yeah.
I'm doing a stream on Running Scared and Midnight Run this time next week,
Okay.
and Running Scared is my favorite buddy cop film.
Mhm.
And that they're two great cops. If you've never seen that film, you absolutely must watch it.
Okay, I'll definitely put it on my list.
And guess what? I've got the soundtrack just down there, but I won't get it.
And William Blake Hall says, "Fail Safe, a powerful movie, the serious opposite of wild comedy, of the wild comedy of Doctor Strangelove, Henry
I
Fonda,
have
and
that.
the President."
I've got that. It's a kind of almost like like a remake of the Cuban Missile Crisis, but it's fictional. But it's shot in a really cinema verite, very real. The actors feel very real. It's a really believable movie. It's like you're watching something that's really happening, and it's the build up to a possible nuclear war and all the tense political stuff that happens around it. Very, very good film.
Yeah, yeah. And William Blake Collins says, "Glory." Also, people tend to pass on Gandhi, but I like it. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I thought it would be a great addition.
Gandhi is the ultimate patriot
Mhm,
to his country. Not, we might, in the people in the West and the UK, to obviously to the government in the UK at the time, he was an enemy, but you can't say he wasn't a patriot to his country.
mhm.
Absolutely was. So that film definitely in the front of the queue, in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay, good, good. I have support on that. And good morning, Vietnam. I miss Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Yes,
Do you know
we
the,
all
the do
do.
you know the day that he died? I travelled on the tube in London, the subway as you call it, and you could see it had impacted everybody. Everybody in the tube was like this. They were all. Everybody looked sad, and you
Oh,
could sort of say Robin Williams, right? Yeah, everybody.
yeah, that was very hard. That was
Yeah,
very hard. And I think, yeah, a whole bunch of things too.
yeah.
Yep,
There's a
more.
few actors that everybody kind of feels like they're their friend in another room. They're
Hmm.
almost part of their life, and Robin Williams was definitely one of those.
Yeah. And then also too, for somebody who brought so much laughter and sunshine to people, for him to himself
Wh-
not be able to do that for himself,
While
or
while
not to
yeah,
have that.
while dealing with his own.
Yeah,
He
I'm
always
trying
felt
to.
the need to perform in front of others.
Yeah, just trying to talk very gently around it, because YouTube
No,
starts flagging stuff. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so
Anyway, back to
the
Stripes, a fun
right.
film from the 1980. That's a great movie. Definitely a kind of almost an anti-patriot film in a way, and then becomes a patriotic film by the end.
Yeah, yeah.
It has a patriotic arc
Mhm.
in the film, if you like. I love that film. That's another one that I'll watch. Maybe not every year, but probably every other year. Um, and I like watching all the other actors in it, all the little supporting characters like John Candy's character and stuff.
All right, so we've got some more conversation. So, Shannon says, Shannon says, "Don't get me wrong, Dirty Harry's good movie, but maybe rugged individuality." And Daryl Johnson says, "No on Dirty Harry. Now, if he killed someone on the 4th of July, then yes."
Not sure he did that.
Nice one, Daryl. And William Blake says, maybe the Dirty Harry movie Magnum Force. Harry stops Los Angeles from getting its own death squads.
I Magnum Force is my favorite Dirty Harry film.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
it's the first Dirty Harry film I saw, and I rewatched them all in a row recently, and I think it's the best of the bunch.
Well, it's been a while for me watching Dirty Harry movies. It looks like I'm due
Yeah,
for
Billy Crystal and Gregory Hines. Yeah,
Running Scared.
um,
Yeah, that was a
yeah,
great. I thought I enjoyed that one.
great film,
Um,
great film. Holds up well.
I really enjoyed Gregory Hines as an actor. I don't think he was in enough movies. And
Uh,
thank you for the emoji, Chris Ferrara. Thank you so much.
yeah, his two best performances are The Cotton Club and White Nights.
Oh,
For Gregory, if you're a fan of Gregory Hines, White Nights with Mikhail Baryshnikov and
yes,
the
that was very good.
and the Cotton Club. And there's a new edit there's a director's edit of the Cotton Club out, which you can get on DVD. It's very expensive, but so
Hmm.
I haven't been able to get hold of it yet. I really liked the Cotton Club. It bombed at the box office, Francis
Yes,
Ford Coppola,
yes.
but I loved it. I thought it was a great film.
It was so good. It had a very epic feel to it.
Yeah, very stylish,
It
and
was. It was
I
very
liked that. I liked
yeah.
that about it.
It was very stylish, and there was something very scary about it too. There was a lot of tension, And
Yeah,
so he has
if you watch the film again, one of the things you'll realize about it is nearly the entire film is set at night, except for the scene on the roof with the pigeons. Almost
okay,
every
very
scene
nice.
is set at night. You know why? Because the Cotton Club only exists at night. That's
Yeah,
when it's open.
that's when it's
So,
open.
yeah.
Yeah, and Moonbeam says, well, a 10-minute vid I started uploading 5 a.m. and now just reaching halfway mark. The tube needs to fix their software. Yeah, it's really, trust me, going through the same issues right now. I uploaded a video for another channel, and my God, it didn't want to accept comments, and I was like, what? What's going on?
Really?
Yeah, it was just I was like, I'm done. I was really like I was so upset.
That's good to know.
So many problems today. And Shannon says, I like my Magnum Force a lot. So don't some don't care for it.
No, I like it too. So you're
And
all good.
William Blake also says a man's gotta know his limitation. And Shannon says, young Tim Matheson, young David Soul, ooh, and Robert Urich, the last guy whose name I can't remember, well, did a TV in this
Yeah,
on
he's
TV.
pointing out those are the 3 corrupt cops in Magnum Force. They're the 3 policemen. Yeah.
Mhm.
And there is a 4th one. I forget the name of the actor.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I do love these actors. They're really cool. Um, and
Channel. No one calls it the channel. That's the channel tunnel. That's the channel tunnel is the channel. Tube is the subway.
Okay. Um, and okay. And Unicorn Rampant City says, I saw White Nights in the theater. Yeah, that
So
was
did I. There it is. There's the vinyl.
for White Nights. Oh, cool.
Yeah, and I saw it with
Oh,
my
keep it holding up. I'm just gonna put you in solo.
yeah,
There we go.
because it's very famous for the song Separate Lives with Phil Collins and
Yes.
um
Marilyn.
Marilyn Martin
Mhm.
and of course like I think not long after I saw this with my first girl we broke up, and every time that song came on it was like
Oh
oh God.
no.
And it's you know how it is, certain songs attached to certain moments in your life, don't they?
Of course, yes. That's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
I
were really
love their dance routine together.
oh my God, yeah.
It was so good that them dancing, side by side, and it was just great. Just seeing like, knowing that they were from different styles of dancing,
yeah.
um, and um, and both very accomplished in their own right. And Burgle says, I also like The Gauntlet. I believe it was also Dirty Harry movie.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a good film. I don't know if it's Dirty Harry the Gauntlet though. Is it? Um, it's
The Gauntlet.
the Gauntlet is the one where that's the one where he's got to get the witness to the police station, and there's that big to court, and there's that big long scene, and all the cops are shooting the school bus that he's kind of armored up.
Ooh,
And I saw it recently, and I
we need
thought
to
it was
see that.
yeah. I mean, it's a good sequence. I think it's with
William Blake Hall says, no, The Gauntlet Eastwood played a burnt out alcoholic cop named Ben Stockley.
yeah, that's right. It's not yeah, Ben
Shockley.
Shockley. It's not a part of the Dirty Harry,
Mm,
but his character's very very similar. It's
it's
so
part of the
easy could have
typecast.
been. Yeah, and I mean, hey, he did a good job to get away from his typecasting. I think.
And Sean Ennis says that fourth actor is Dennis Cole, maybe, maybe. and and William Blake also says, I'm not sure where there's an extra cop, so your Rick Matheson pretty well cover it. Okay, somebody else says, okay, Sean then says no. Kip Nevin is the fourth corrupt cop in Magnum Force. Interesting.
Yeah, that I'm pretty sure there are 4 of them.
Yeah,
Yeah, because Kip
I
Niven
got
is Officer
confirmation.
Alan Red. That's right. Yeah, there are 4 of them.
And Brogo says, okay, my bad. I got confused with Dirty Harry movie. Can you guys ever forgive me? Yes, of course, Brogo, you're the best. Thanks for bringing it up in the first place, because I would have never known that there was a character by the name of Stockley. So you've just opened up my horizons, brand new information. Uh, and Williams is kidding here. He says, "I forgive you."
Somebody,
So you guys are hilarious in the chat. Okay, so
somebody mentioned in the chat earlier that William Blake Hall had actually directed some movies. So I just wonder if he can confirm that that's the case, or did I misread or misunderstand that?
William Blake Hall, have you directed movies?
Yeah, tell us if that's true, because if you have, come on my channel and talk about them.
No, come on my channel and talk about them.
Come on both our channels and talk about them, or we'll do a joint stream. Whatever. It's all good.
No, I hate joint streams. I can't
Check his
stand
credits
them.
from the 70s. He did a lot of TV at the time, was very recognizable. There we go. So, but Sean, but William, can you confirm that that is you? Look, he's just said I've never directed anything, so it's not the same guy.
Okay.
You can still come on my channel.
We're still fighting over William
You can
Blake
still
Hall.
come on my channel and talk about the fact you've never directed anything. That's fine. Most people think I haven't, so it's it's all good.
Dennis Cole was the name of a kind of actor as Kip. Okay.
Yeah, no, there definitely were 4 of them, because the guy that's missing is the one who looks a bit like John Boy from the Waltons, and that's Kip.
Okay.
Yeah.
And says, I think William Blake Hall just directs fever dreams and shares them with us. And they're brilliant. They're brilliant fever dreams. Yeah.
There you go, Retro. You're on first call.
Yeah, I mean, well, he's most likely we're going to get him on here anyway because he's just a wealth of knowledge and all around amazing person. Very happy to have him in my
Yeah.
community. Okay, and Moonbeam says, I just saw Retro Nerd Girl review The Time Machine 1960. Well done, good job with that. And Logan's Run. Thank you so much, Moonbeam. Jack Kelly.
Those are 2 of my favorite sci-fi films of all
Oh,
time.
they are really great. Great. It's part of the classics.
Yeah, the Time Machine I saw, there was a sci-fi season when I was very young, and I saw that. I had a little color TV that I got given from my parents up in my room, and I would always watch stuff late. And that was one of the movies that was on. And I remember there's one bit when there's lava coming down the street, and it's kind of he's going too far in the future. That bit was really scary. That was the first time I'd seen fake lava on.
I know, it's just oatmeal
in a movie, right? And then the Logan's Run movie was actually, again, I saw that on the little color TV upstairs. It was showing quite late at night, and I don't think my parents realized that there was a big sex orgy scene in the movie.
Well, it's just a second.
Well,
wait a minute. Wait. You're not supposed to say things like that.
Sorry, I forgot this was a PG stream. There was an adult scene in the film.
Oh my God!
And I was a bit shocked when I saw that.
All right. Well,
moving on.
Anyone who's watching, very sorry.
Oh, is that the time? I've got to go. I've got a little bit longer left. Maybe I should go now. I'll get my coat. I should go now.
You're fine. We just have to make sure.
I'm so sorry, I forgot about that.
Sorry about that. But it's hard
Good film.
it's hard to not talk about those things, but we're gonna give it a shot. Okay, so let me just read off the last few that
I have to go in about 5 minutes. So let's read a few more from the list.
A few more before we'll just do the H's. Hacksaw Ridge 2016, Hamilton 2020, Heartbreak Ridge 1986, Heaven and Earth 1993, Hero 2002, Hidden Figures 2016, Helldago 2004, Hamburger Hill 1987, Hotel Rwanda 2004, How the West Was Won 1962, and then Hacksaw Ridge again 2016. And just for those who are peeking, there's Independence Day.
only at 91. I own all the films on that section of the list.
Really?
Yeah, I own pretty much all the films so far, I think, except for 2. So I want to comment on Hotel Rwanda, if I may, and maybe this will be my last thing to contribute before I depart to do my Wyatt Earp stream, and I'll drop you the link. It'll be a new one because I dropped you a link for the review I did of the other film earlier. I'll drop you in case you do want to come on later. So Hotel Rwanda is about the Rwandan genocide. It's a true story. It had big name actors in it. But around the same time that it came out, there were 2 other movies that came out. One of them was an HBO film called Sometimes in April. Okay. And there's another film about the Rwandan genocide called Shake Hands with the Devil. In my view, both of those films were criminally overlooked, and they're both better films than Hotel Rwanda, which is, centers on a guy who did some good things, but was pretty safe for the most part. And, they embellished some stuff. Sometimes in April is you can't get through that film without the hairs on your body going up and shivers going down your spine, and I dare you not to cry by the end of the movie. It's an absolute travesty what happened in that country, and the UN are largely to blame because they could have stopped it and they didn't, and they could have stepped in a lot quicker and they didn't. And I have a lot of Rwandan friends, so I know the history quite well. But I urge people, if you have an interest in that period or you want to see a really heart-wrenching true story, but do be prepared, have tissues. Sometimes in April is the
I don't know if I can handle it.
It might not be your bag. Not a lot of laser guns and jumpsuits in that one.
I need the laser guns and
the jumpsuits. I know. I do have a long list of laser guns and jumpsuit films to recommend you on another stream. But they're not. I don't know that they are patriot. You could argue Star Wars is about patriotism in a way because it's rebels fighting them. Look, there goes my alarm. That's my alarm telling me I've got 15 minutes until I'm going live on my channel. So I probably should use that as my segue.
Okay. Well, it was so wonderful to have you on the show.
You're so generous, letting me come on, and because you normally do much of this stuff on your own, and but I really love doing this stuff, and you can probably tell I just love talking about films I like, and I've dug everything out the shed now. It's nearly all my paraphernalia is within reach. So even the cinema tickets, the bundle is huge. I've got so many of them.
That's really wonderful that you've been able to save them and they look so good. Like
I want to create a collage artwork and then put them in a frame. But even if I do that, one of the things that will kind of kill it is, I mean, even the things on the back of the tickets are kind of cool, you know?
Oh, yeah.
They've got their own sort of kitschy historical value. There's adverts for Dick Tracy on the back. Later on in the early 90s, they started putting adverts for the next film to come out and that kind of thing. But I've got tickets for Glory, Gettysburg there, Die Hard 2, all of them. They're all there. And now I can pin down. It's helping me with my memory because I can see which cinema I went to and when. And if I've got one ticket, I know I went on my own. And if I've got 2 tickets, I know I wasn't Billy No Mates that day, as we say in England. So anyway, listen, it's been absolutely fabulous. I hope the chat has enjoyed my presence. If you haven't, you can breathe a sigh of relief now because I'm leaving. But honestly, I really enjoyed. You've got to come on my channel. Oh, before I go, sorry. My 1-year epic anniversary stream is this Sunday, the 9th of July.
Yeah,
it's going to start at 6 p.m. It's going to end at 2 a.m. So it's an epic anniversary stream of retro nerd girl proportions.
Wow, I can't wait.
So you've got to come in at some point because I don't want to talk on my own for 8 hours. Please come and join me for half hour.
Oh, of course, no problem.
Whatever time you can spare at whenever's convenient. I'm inviting all my guests I've done an interview with to pop in at some point or other. and moderators as well, and even some of my regulars from chat might get to pop in for 5 minutes. So it'd be great to have you on there. All right, so thanks a lot, guys. Thanks so much for having me, and I'll see you all again real soon. Enjoy the rest of the stream. Sorry, I'm going to miss it.
Yeah, have a good one. If we're still on, you just got
if I come off mine and you're still on, I'll come back on if you want.
Yes, come back on.
All right.
All right, take it easy.
Vice versa. Okay, take care.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yep, take it easy. All right, guys. Wasn't he a lot of fun? It had so much information to give us. So, my goodness, what a wealth of information. Let's see if I can add, go through you guys' comments. Let's see. I did want to hit on this one. William Blake Hall says, thanks to Peter Ustinov, Logan's Run is a better tribute to T.S. Eliot's Cats poems than that dang movie. And Name Private is here and says, Patton 1970 is an excellent pro-American film and amazing historical World War II film. See it if you haven't. Yes, thank you so much, Name Private. Let's see. William Blake Hall says, I love the Hidden Figures, a celebration of hardcore nerd culture. Wow, yes. People should not ignore Hotel Rwanda, but Outcast, thanks for recommending Shake Hands with the Devil. Yes, actually going to write that down too, because I'm not sure if I did before. Oh, and let me remove my headphones because I don't need them anymore.
And just let me know that you guys can hear me, and woo! Those things on my ears are like, they hurt. They're not the nicest. Let's see. Sean Ennis says, during a particularly difficult time of my divorce, I watched Hotel Rwanda, had me bawling, and recorded my priorities immediately. Reordered my priorities immediately. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. And Keith E is saying that he can hear me, so that's great. Yep, Sean Ennis says that he can hear me as well. So great, 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 great. And Moonbeam 87 says, Logan's Run, the first theatrical release of Cats. Thanks for to Peter Houston, 5 years before Andrew Lloyd Webber's musical. And William Blake called Don Cheadle was great in that. Hotel Rwanda. Okay. And Sean Innes says, William Blake agreed. Cheadle is so good in general, but that movie. And Moonbeam 87 says, ciao for now, Lance. Have fun with your stream. Yes, I hope he has a good time. And Rincana says, I remember watching Independence Day on TV as a kid, along with my dad. Don't remember much of the story. Been wanting to rewatch it since a long time, but haven't gotten around. Yeah, it's one of those movies for me too that maybe I needed to rewatch it again. It's it's okay. It's not a bad movie in my opinion, but it isn't like the best thing ever. Even though it does have some really incredible, memorable scenes in it that I think are really special and incredible and hilarious and funny. Daryl Johnson says Star Wars, The Patriot, that works. um, and William Blake also says, Outcast, thanks for coming. All the best. Yes, he was doing great on the show. I hope his stream goes very well. I would, of course, be watching if I didn't have to do this one. And it's like this is very important, as I want to get want to get through all of these and make sure that I get them as well as possible, get the list at least as good as possible. And Yes, and everyone's saying glad to have you, Lance. Cheers, Lance. It was fun, Lance. I'm so glad you guys liked the fact that Lance was on the show and had so much to offer us as far as nerdy goodness. And Roga says it may not be patriotic in the sense that we are talking about it today, but Star Wars movies are probably the best good versus evil movies that I could think of, in my humble opinion. I would agree. I would agree with that. And actually, I'm going to write that down as a topic. Grogu, you're giving me ideas. Good versus evil movies. Now, you could probably say every movie could probably fall into that category in some way, shape, or form. But I wanted to, I think, to make it a little bit more like the best, the best ones, only the best ones. Um, so I'm going to write that down as a movie idea or a movie talk we should have in the future. Um, And Keith E is saying, please subscribe to Outcast Creative. He's trying to hit 2,000. I don't think he's made it yet. Oh, really? I didn't know that he was still trying to get to 2,000. I thought he passed it. Um, mm, uh, keep me informed. And anyone who likes his stuff, what he had to offer today, please do um, subscribe to his channel. He's a great guy. And on top of that, he does he works in the industry, so he knows a lot. He has a lot of industry people that he talks to. Moonbeam says, I know the cinemas I visited by where I was living at the time, The Flight of the Navigator and American Tail, Star Trek for the Voyage Home was the Roman. The sound is so good. Oh, really? Let's see. Okay. So let me catch up with what you guys are saying. I'm just going to zoom down a little bit. I hope you don't mind. Uh, uh, um, William Blake Hall says, the world will declare with one voice, we don't go gentle, we don't go gentle into the night. We do not go without a fight. We're going to live on. We're going to survive. Today we celebrate our Independence Day. Aw, that is so sweet, so inspiring. And William Blake Hall says, "Legend, very much good versus even." Oh yes, just hold on to it, William Blake Hall. We are gonna talk about it eventually one day. Don't give William Blake Hall an idea. He goes off, and my God, there is what he produces are incredible. So. Not yet. No, not yet. Not yet. And Jakers88 says, happy 4th. Folks, I'll add all the President's Men, Jason Robards as Ben Bradley. Nothing's writing on this except the nothing's writing on this except for the First Amendment, freedom of the press, and future of the country. Um, and thank you, Jakers. Good to see you. Good to see you. And William was saying, "Hey, Jakers, yes, I was pleasantly surprised to see that all the President's Men is already on the list." And John Walker says, "Welcome to Earth." Boom. um, and William Blake calls says, "Now that's what I call a close encounter." And Jakers88 says, "Thanks, William. I missed it. That is a good surprise." Yay. Yes. So okay, now I'm gonna read more of the list, so we can continue with this. Let's see. So I finished the H's. So we got the Independence Day, 1996, Inglorious Bastards, 2009, Jarhead, 2005, JFK, 1991, Judgment at Nuremberg, 1961, Kelly's Heroes, 1970, Khartoum, 1966, Kingdom of Heaven, 2005, K9, The Widowmaker, 2002. Lawrence of Arabia, 1962. Letters from Iwo Jima, 2006. Life is Beautiful, 1997. Lone Survivor, 2013. Lord of War, 2005. Now let's see what you guys think of that so far. Let's see. Oh gosh, what happened? Um, and Sean Ennis says, I just recently found out that Robert Picardo is in Legend. Oh, he is? What role did he play? I don't remember him in as any of the characters. Um, and William Blake Hall says, JFK, a masterpiece of propaganda, but still propaganda. Excellent performances. In just a few minutes, Donald Sutherland steals the movie. Oh, you know why? It's been years since I've seen JFK. Years. So I can't, I can't wait. And Sean Anna says, "Why is Mad Max 2 on the list?" I was like, I was like, am I missing something from Mad Max 2? Like, what is it? And I agree with you. So if anybody can tell me if there's like a scene or something in Mad Max 2 that it's been a long time. I haven't seen it in a long time. So I remember seeing Mad Max like maybe like 7 years ago, and I was like, oh wow, I didn't know that this was, this was I didn't know there was a Mad Max one because I thought Mad Max 2 was Road War. I thought Road Warrior was the first movie. I didn't know it was the second movie. Um, and so yeah, let me know. I'm probably, that was probably a misfire as far as suggestions go. And William Blake Hall says Judgment at Nuremberg, a must catch. Oh wow. And Sean Ennis says he played the monster at that spits out one of the fairies and says foul tasting fairy. Oh, really? Interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that. Great. Thank you, Sean. When the next time I see it, that I'm gonna have to take a look at it, and that will probably be happening very soon, as it's happening this weekend. And William Blake Hall says Lawrence of Arabia, good, and Moonbeam says Memphis Belle is very patriotic, and Robert Picardo was Hag Meg in Legend. Okay, you guys are helping to fill in the blanks there. I did not know he was there. William Blake Hall says Lord of War, an interesting expose of the arms industry. Not sure how patriotic it is. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So let me write that down. Okay. Let's see. And Michonne Innes says Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior, same movie, but patriotic. Yeah, that we're still wondering. I didn't want to take it off the list if I didn't know for sure. Because there's been a couple of times when you guys have surprised me and you've told me like, oh, this movie has, a scene in it. Like, even though I've watched Legend so many times. I don't know how many times I've watched Legend. I did not know that Robert Picardo was in it. It just never registered. So like I'm learning things every day. So yeah, it wasn't meant to be any statement or anything. This is just the first preliminary kind of um, list, just to you know just something put together for the day as commemoration. And Winter Soldier says, "What? No Johnny Tremaine? Oh, okay. I'm writing that down. Writing that Johnny Tremaine." 1957. Thank you for the date as well. A movie about an American independence, about the American independence, is missing from this list. Liberty Square in Disney World is the legacy of the movie Johnny Tremaine. Did not. Thank you, Winter Soldier. Okay, we needed you today. This is why we needed you. And he says one of my best friends was a German guard in judgment at Nuremberg. I didn't believe him, so he showed me pictures. Wow. And same thing, Daryl is like, I had no idea. Why Max too? Yeah, I don't, we're just, I guess I'm gonna remove it, okay? Oh, and William Blake Hall says, Winter, I read Johnny Tremaine ages ago, but never watched it. And Chris Ferrara says, comment with communion with Christopher Walken was Whitey, as Whitey Strieber. Okay. Do you happen to know what year that was? Communion. That would help me. And Brogu says, "Did you have the final countdown on your list? It might be under the because yeah, if all the titles that begin with the is under T. So well, I think we should probably wait for it. Let's see. It probably might come up. The aircraft carrier that went back in time and could change the results of the war was on the time travel stream as well. Yes. Okay. Got it. Yes. And now I remember the movie. Daryl Johnson says Kelly's Hero was a bank robbery movie. Oh, okay. So we're gonna remove Kelly's Heroes too. Um, Chris Ferrara says, "Not patriotic, just a good movie." See, this is so important. All right. William Blake Hall says, "Communion is patriotic." I just found it disjointed. Um, and William Blake Hall says, "The ultimate Christopher Walken movie is The Prophecy, starring Walken as an archangel, Gabriel gone bad, becoming a second Lucifer. Walken was never more Walken than in the prophecy." And Sean Ennis says, definitely Memphis Belle. My uncle was a B-17 pilot in World War II. Now uh, how I'm not a pilot, I have no idea. I didn't know Picardo was in Legend until a week ago. He did a lot of prosthetic makeup roles early. Oh, okay. Oh, cool. I didn't know. I had no clue. No clue. And Kelly's Heroes was a lot of fun, William Blake Hall says. And Boombean says, yeah, Ridley Scott had a great makeup and effects department for Legend. Wasn't it incredible? Everybody was transformed. Um, and Winter Soldier says 1989 for Communion. Okay, 1989. Uh, and John Walker says the only American thing in Mad Max is is a Ford Falcon. Oh my goodness. And Sean Ennis says, that's great about your friend. I worked on a few movies. They were all awful. I always wanted to work on something good. Oh, and William Blake Hall says, I like Master and Commander. Um, and Chris Ferrara is verifying 1989 for us. And Moonbeam says, that's the way I alphabetize my library. I put films uh, under the T. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it automatically did it like that as I put it in alphabetically. But it to be very honest with you, I I'm not sure. I'm on the fence whether a movie should be the part should be taken out, because it is part of the title, right? So I usually keep it in. And Bobby Renee is here, says happy fourth. Um, hostess with the mostest. Oh, thank you. um, and Unicorn Rampant Studio says yes, the prophecy, but certainly not patriotic. Yes, not definitely not patriotic. And Shannon is, the prophecy is awesome. William Blake Hall. And let's see. And we get a confirmation that yes, indeed, Legend was great from Chris Ferrara. It was. Um, and let's see. Let's see. And let's see. And William Blake Hall says, um, Daryl Johnson says, "Hey Sean, my dad was a waist gunner on a B-17. Wow." And William Blake Hall says, Mad Max is crossed with cat people and got the theme song putting out the fire with gasoline. Interesting. And Broku says Walken was never more Walken than he was on Saturday Night Live, playing the manager of the Blue Oyster Cult, telling them, "I need more help." I, I mean, in my opinion, Christopher Walken is always the most Christopher Walken whenever he's doing anything. And William Blake Hall, maybe comic Walken as opposed to creepy Walken. Oh yeah, so yeah, there's different facets. And as cool. My best friend growing up, his dad was a ball turret gunner that got shot down and captured. Actually, was in Stag 17. Uh, oh wow, that's pretty cool. I mean, not that he was captured, but did he ever? What happened? He was captured, but did he ever come home after being captured, or was that was just it? Um, it's like hearing a bit of a story, but it, it didn't finish. Well, hopefully it's a happy ending. We're hoping. Sean Ennis also says prophecy was a deceptively sneaky cast. Walken just rises to the top in that movie. Um, and William Blake Hall says Elias Koteas, the Canadian Robert De Niro. Oh, I've never heard of him before. All right, and so let's continue. Press on, guys. Let's see. Um, we already discussed Mad Max: The Road Warrior. Um, it caused quite a shakeup. Maybe subconsciously I left it in there because I was like, oh well, just for a little excitement. Now we've got for M's, we've got Master and Commander, The Far Side of the World, 2003, Memphis Belle, 1990, Midway, 1976, Miracle, 2004. Missing in Action, 1984. Mr. Roberts, 1955. Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, 1939. I told you it was on the list. Munich, 2005. Nanook of the North, 2022. Norma Ray, 1979. North and South, 1985. And then for the O's, we have Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, 2000. Officer and a Gentleman, 1982. Operation Chromite, 2016. And Out of Africa, to 1985. So, what do you guys have to say about that bunch of movies? And Winter Soldier says The Howards of Virginia, 1940, starring Cary Grant, was a war about making the choice and the cost of supporting the Continental Army. Oh, interesting. Oh, okay. Write that down. Oh, guys, do we add Holiday Inn? Because it covered all the holidays. Does Holiday Inn make it? Just thought of it. I just thought of that. Um, and Chris Ferrera says communion uh, was the supposed true story of the abduction of Whitey Streisberg. Okay, Whitey Streisberg. I think I have that right. Um, and Brogan says Walken is a great actor. He can do both. Yeah. Um, and let me just try to figure out what that. Uh, oh, okay. Okay, about this, the word that was being used was supposed to be starring Cary Grant as uh, oh, as a worm. Oh, I'm kind of confused, but but it's a war movie. Was a more war movie. And Moonbeam says a Diary of Anne Frank, Goonies, The Hobbit, The Omen are all under T for the. Oh, okay. It most we'll see if they're on there. Um, and John Ennis says, yes, captured, survived. He was okay. Thank you. Oh, thank goodness. I was sitting on the edge of my seat there. Sorry, since he fathered my friend 1966, I knew that, but you couldn't. Have known that. Oops. I was like, oh my God, I hope he made it. And Daryl Johnson says, European theater. He was also shot down, and he was pulled out by a friend of his named uh, Daryl, also named Daryl. I think that's what you meant. They made it back to friendly lines. Oh, good. And William Blake also says Norma Ray. Interesting. Yeah, it's an interesting one to put on there, but it's like about American problems, I guess. American issues. I don't know if it's necessarily patriotic. It's like it has the ideals, but I'm not sure if it's totally like completely like a patriotic movie, but you could use it as sort of like this is an inspirational movie about a woman who gets through a tough situation. Or it is the gets through, but I'm not sure if she got through it, but she is the martyr for a movement. Um, and and you mentioned love, oh brother, where art thou? Very much qualifies as Americana, and I- that's the category. That's the category, Americana. Like movies that stand for like American values, um, and things like that. I mean, that's sort of like a very unique like subgenre, I think. Shannon says, "Nice, Daryl. Good name, Daryl. Glad your father survived or escaped the capture." I'm not sure if that you meant the if that was your friend's father or your father. Um, and let's see, and Keith E is letting Sean know that he's still here for roll call. And Daryl says he did 25 missions. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow. And Moonbeam says, sure, Holiday Inn, why not? Okay, great, great, great. Because I was like, Holiday Inn, it covers all of the holidays. I know that there are some people who, that movie in particular, may have some insensitive moments in the film, um, but or things that are out of date. But I do think that it does cover that and all. As much as it covers it being like a Christmas movie, it covers all of the holidays. And William Blake Hall say not sure where it falls alphabetically, but I'm sure um, but absolutely have to blur out To Kill a Mockingbird. Yes, I will be under the T's, and I believe it's in there. I believe it is. Believe it is. And Sean Ennis says my uncle did a full 35 mission. He flew for the Reich Wreckers. Oh wow! And what a and like I'm like this. You know, wow, 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 wow. And Keith E says I like the Brockovich movies. Oh, Aaron Brockovich. Um, and Moonbeam says, well, my library, those films are. I just thought of Singing in the Rain under under S in my library. It's a good look how cinema started. Mm. And William Blake also says, yes, Erin Brockovich is great. Yes, okay. And I figured that was the right one. And let's continue. We got to get to the T's to see what's in there. All right, let's see if I can read these rather quickly for you. Pacific Rim 2013, Paths of Glory 1957, Patton 1970, Pearl Harbor 2001, Platoon 1986, Pork Chop Hill. I never heard I never heard of that movie. Pork Chop Hill 1959, Pride 2014, Pride of the Marines, 1945. Rambo: First Blood Part 2, 1985. Red Dawn, 1984. Rescue Dawn, 2006. Restrepo, 2010. Rocky, 1976. I feel like that's a real like Americana movie. St. Joan, 1957. Sands of Iwo Jima, 1949. Saving Saving Private Ryan, 1998. Schindler's List, 1993. Sergeant York, 1941. 7 Days in May, 1964. Seven Samurai, 1954. That one is. You guys have to tell me if you think it's patriotic or not. It certainly is. Uh, yeah, I'm not sure because then don't all the people who are fighting are not quite of the same um, group. They're from other places. And the next one on the list is Sergeant Rutledge, 1960, Siege of Jadotville. Um, and this one says the in front of it, so I guess this would have been the Siege of Jadotville, 2016. Son of the Morning Star, 1991. Sons of Liberty, 2015. Staglag, 17 or sorry, Stalag 17, 1953. Starship Troopers, interesting. I think it is 1997. Tears of and then we get to the T's. We're gonna get to the T's in a second. Let's see what you guys think of the S's so far. Um, there's some really interesting ones on the list, and boy, um, uh, wonder why. Okay. Yeah, there we go. I thought something weird was happening. Sorry about that. I have to double check after this, or what happened earlier today. It was just crazy. And Moonbeam says, "Oh yes, Rocky, a patriotic film that came out when I was born, thanks to Apollo Creed." and Sean and it says, glad to see Rescue Dawn on the list. Little Dieter needs some attention. So Steve Zahn was so good in that too. Wow. And John Walker says Superman 2 is especially a patriotic film. You think so? Okay, I'm gonna write it down. Because if so, then maybe all of them belong on there. But let me know if there's a specific reason why you think Superman 2 in particular is a patriotic film. Just explain a little bit for me. Um, and William Blake Hall says Schindler's List, Sergeant York, excellent. 7 Days in May, a particularly interesting movie. Starship Troopers is a savage satire of patriotism gone overboard. Yes, it is. Absolutely. And I can't wait for us to talk about it when we do the watch party for it. And that's happening soon. Um, and Venkata said, have you watched RRR 2002? It centers around fictional versions of two Indian revolutionaries set in British colonial era. The central theme is patriotism and fight for freedom. Yes, and I completely forgot to add it on the list. It should be on here. Yes, RRR is a patriotic film, should be on here. And so, yes, I will be adding it, Venkata. Thank you for reminding me that that should be on the list. Um, and Kiwi says stripes, just kidding. And Winter Soldier says RRR is a good choice. It really is, isn't it? Yeah. Because it does cover um, patriotism quite well, and has that flavor like we were talking about before of inspiration, and so yeah, I can't believe I didn't write it down. Thank you so much, Venkata, for bringing it up, because definitely I should have remembered, um, and John Walker says the ending in which he fixes the flag and returns to the roof. Oh, okay, I know what you mean. And Superman too. Yes. John Walker. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Just to refresh my memory. Yes, so I've already written it down. So thank you. Thank you. Um, okay. Um, and I do, you know what? Yeah, if anybody hasn't seen RRR yet, I would suggest you do. It is so good. It is so good. So incredible. The action is really incredible. What a fantastic story. Wonderful storytelling. And I remember when I like watching the first 15 minutes of it, I was like, okay, where is this going? And then I was like, my jaw dropped. I was like, oh, wow. It was really good. Pulled me in, and the version I was watching had subtitles. So, I mean, uh, it was great. Like, how do you manage to capture somebody even with subtitles? Like, come on. Amazing movie. Um, and John Walker, okay, so and William Blake Hall says the best years of our lives. All right, one of the best movies to watch today. Bridge on the River Kwai is great. A critique of war. And if you ask me, The Long Kiss Goodnight, oddly patriotic in its way. That's a interesting choice. I love that movie. By the way, I'll add that. Yeah, I would add that to it. It's really cool. Um, and all those like spy mystery movies, I think they'll all like sort of fit into kind of that category a little bit. Um, let's see. Well, Superman is a patriotic superhero, and I just heard about RRR. Oh yeah. Um, Superman in itself, like all the movies, I think you could classify all of them as as Americana movies. They are about a character that is, um, you know, is is all about it's his Americanness, is part of his character, or him being an American hero is part of his character. So yeah, I think so. I think you're right about that. Um, now we're gonna do the T's. So, Tears of the Sun, 2003. Thank You for Your Service, 2017. The Alamo, 1960. Battle of Algiers, 1966. Best Year of Our Lives, 1946. The Big Red One, 1980. Birth of a Nation, ugh. The Book Thief, 2013. Boy in Striped Pajamas, 2008. Bridge on the River Kwai, 1957. The Canine Mutiny, 1954. The Civil War, 1990. Deer Hunter, 1978. The Dirty Dozen, 1967. The English Patient, 1996. Fighting, 60. The Fighting, 69th, 1940. The Fighting Seabees, 1944. The General, 1926. Would you call that? Would you call that one Patriot? Let me know your opinion on the General. The Great Escape, 1963. The Great Raid, 2005. The Green Berets in 1968. The Guns of Navarro, 1961. Hanoi Hilton, 1987. The Hurt Locker, 2008. The Iron Lady, 2011. The Killing Fields, 1984. The Last Emperor, 1987. The Last of the Mohicans, 1992. And I believe there was another one earlier as well. The Longest Day, 1962. The Message, 1976. The Patriot, 2000. The Pianist, 2002. The Right Stuff, 1983. The Sand Pebbles, 1966. The Secret Life of Bees, 2008. The Siege, 1998. The Sound of Music. What do you guys think about The Sound of Music? Is that patriotic? 1965. The Talking Pelham, 123, 2009. The Thin Red Line, 1998. The Winds That Shake the Barley, 2006. The Year of Living Dangerously, 1982. They Were Expendable, 1945. 13 Days, 2000. Three Kings, 1999. To End All Wars, 2001. Tora, 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 there it is, 1970. 12 O'Clock High, 1949. All right. Um, Tell me your thoughts about that. That's a long list. My gosh, that was long. That was huge. That was huge list. Kata says, I come from the same state in India that the heroes of RRR, um, as the heroes of RRR, being a great fan of Batman v Superman, both the movies and with the heroes fighting theme have a special place in my heart. Oh, yes. What a great connection for the heroes in RRR to Batman v Superman, Batman and Superman as superheroes from the DC comic universe. Wow, yes, great. What a nice comparison. If you guys see RRR, you'll know what I'm talking about. These two guys, they couldn't be more different, but also so uh, so well matched, and they when they come together and they work together, it's incredible. It's really incredible. And so yeah, I can see that. I can see that. William Blake Hall says, "Truth, justice, and the American way." That kind of that kind of says it all. Absolutely, William. And I think that's the reason why Superman, all the Superman movies get to be on this list now. So I gotta make sure I get all of them. In fact, what the last one was Superman 5, was it Search for Peace, or was it 4 Search for Peace or something? Uh, Sean Ennis, did we have the Promise 2016 with Christian Bale and Oscar Isaac? It's not as good as the Hotel Rwanda, but it's not bad. About the Armenian Armenian genocide in Turkey. Interesting. Yeah, no, I don't have it. So we will add that to the promise. 2016. And Sean Ennis says The Killing Fields was a devastating movie. Yeah. Um, it sounds horrible. I mean, it does. It sounds horrible. The title sounds horrible. And so I don't want to, I don't, yeah. I've never seen it, so I'm sure that it will deliver. William Blake Hall says The Great Escape, of course, Killing Fields, a tribute to the surviving a particularly horrible war, The Last Emperor, a long but worthy movie. I love these little mini reviews that you guys are giving. This is great. William Blake Hall says The Sound of Music, very much patriotic, pro Austrian, resisting the Nazis. Okay, all right. Oh well, then Cabaret should have been on this too, right? Maybe Cabaret should have been. Let me know, guys, if you think Cabaret. What was was it 1976 should have been on there too? Okay. Let me know. Let me know. Uh, Top Gun one. And Sean Ennis says the Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3 is or the original good, but not on this list. I thought I just read that off. The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. Did I not? Or was it called something else? I thought I just read it. I just read it. Um, oh, yeah, there it is. Here it is right here. The Taking of Pelham. Yeah, that's it right there. Um, oof, for a second, I was like, what is it? I thought I read it, but it could be wrong. Dora, 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 another very interesting movie. Yeah, I have never seen it, so I'm looking to one day finally seeing it. And Brogu says, "How about The Rules of Engagement, starring Samuel L. Jackson and Tommy Lee Jones? They were decorated soldiers from the Vietnam Beirut Desert Storm." Oh, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't even know about that. So you're saying Rules of Engagement? Do you have a year for me? Engagement. Let me know if you have a year for me, Brogu. Uh, William Blake Hall says, not sure what Pelham is doing here, but I have to insist on the original Taking of Pair 1, 2, 3 from 1974. Oh, okay. So there's, okay. Well, I'm here. I might as well. I might as well edit it right on this spot. All right. Um, okay. And Moonbeam says, "Oh, the Sand Peoples is long but good. As for The Sound of Music, it's about the Van Trapp family, so it might be patriotic for the song Edelweiss. I forgot how to pronounce that. Edelweiss or Edelweiss. At least for Austrians. Um, and Sean Ennis says, I'll accept Cabaret for this list. Oh, good. And moving, sure, Cabaret in 1972. Yes, 1972. Okay. Sorry about that. I know it was in the 70s sometime, but yeah, 72. Thank you very much for getting the date right for me. This is very important. Brogu says the year 2000 for rules of engagement. Okay. 2000. And just wondering how even the 1974 version of Pelham is Patriotic. It's a good movie, but and better than that remake, in my opinion. Oh, so is Sean Ennis is sounding it out for me. Thank you, Sean. You're so awesome. Okay, Adelweiss. Thank you. Thank you so much, Adelweiss. Okay. Uh, thank you so much. I love learning. And okay, so let's read the. I think we're home free, guys. We got just a little bit more to go. Let's see. We've got so we've got U571 that was released in 2000, Unbroken 2014, United 93 2006, Valkyrie 2008, Vera Drake 2004, War and Peace 1956, War Horse 2011, We Were Soldiers 2002, When Trumpets Fade 1998, Where Eagles Dare 1968, Wind Talkers 2002, Wings 2007, 1927, Yankee Doodle Dandy. Wow, that's taking me back. 1942, and Zero Dark 30, 2012. And I just thought of another movie. Now it just escaped me, but it was Sophie's Choice. What do you guys think about Sophie's Choice? Should that be on here? What list? And I don't believe that Anne Frank's Diary was on here. Was it? I don't think so. So let me know what you guys think about these. Let's see. And Sean Ennis says a long A sound at the start. A Edelweiss, like Edelweiss. I'm hoping I have it right. Winter Soldier, Smokey and the Bandit, 1977, for the good old American life, for the money, for the glory, and the fun, mostly for the money. You think, okay, Smokey and the Bandit, you guys let me know if Smokey and the Bandit should be on there. And Sophie's Choice. Those are the two that are hanging in the balance right now. Edelweiss. Okay, Edelweiss. Okay. And EAE. Hello there. Good to see you. It says Hikigamori lives matter. Okay, I don't know what that means. William Blake Hall says, I love United 93. That plane flew over Pittsburgh airspace. Very well done. And Moonbeam 87, Yankee Doodle Dandy is as old as our president. Yeah, it's an oldie, but there are parts of it that I do like a lot. It tickles me kind of a little bit because it reminds me of being a kid watching that movie. And William Blake Hall says, I'm a big fan of Zero Dark 30. Wow, the left doesn't love it, but the right seems to ignore it, but it blew me away. Oh, interesting. And Keith E says, I really liked Where the Eagles Dare as a kid. It was a great movie. And he also says, come on, come on, SpongeBob SquarePants. That's gonna be on the list if you keep it up. Wait a minute. Let's look at SpongeBob. Moonbeam says that Edelweiss is a flower in the Alps. Incredible. Um, and William Blake also, Sophie's Choice is a tremendous tribute to the devastation of war. Not sure how patriotic it is. Okay. And and Shannon says, "You got it, RNG. LOL. Well pronounced." Well, thank you. You guys are helping me to be more worldly. Thank you so much, guys. Kitty says Edelweiss only grows in the mounds. It's a flower and also considered by some um, considered by some more weed, considered to be more like a weed. Oh, okay, to be more like a weed and not like an actual flower. Okay. And Shannon says, SpongeBob is a patriot. How dare you? Oh my goodness. Yeah, we could go overboard. Every movie can end up being patriotic at this point. Well, the reason why I asked, I mean, it would be about Sophie's Choice, even though it's like the devastation of war. Um, I guess it's I would have to put it in a different category. You're right, and that would have to be the opposition to war. So it could be like an anti-war movie. Ooh, ooh, let me write this down. You guys are giving me great ideas. Anti-war movies. There's a lot of them. Don't mention them. Don't. I feel you typing. No, don't mention them. We're gonna talk about them. We're gonna talk about all of these different genres of film because they're so juicy. Um, and so Geeti says, let's not go in the cartoons or time travel patriots. Whoa. Keithy, you know us too much, too well. We will. We will go into time travel because that is just it's part of being nerdy, you know. Movie says so Edelweiss is like the morning glories in the U.S. Oh, I've never even heard of morning glories, and I live here. What is that? What is that? And and it says moonbeam. It's a small white flower that grows high in the mountains. It sounds really cool. Brogu says, how about 1990 Navy SEALs with Charlie Sheen? Oh, I didn't know. You know what's also not on here? G.I. Jane. You guys remember that movie? And heck, why don't we add G.I. Joe onto this? What? There's a lot missing on this, this list. Navy SEALs, 1990. Wow, wow, wow. Just came out with a whole bunch of them. Um, we're brainstorming. Is that what we're doing? Okay, version 2 of this will be on July 2. Yes, Keithy, you know it. We're gonna revisit all of these again next year. So guys, keep a lookout for any strays that, may have not made it to the list. We are gonna continue this conversation. Keith E, you're the best. You're so right. And also, you know, um, I think the conversation, uh, definitely has more juice in it. And William Blake Hall says, my favorite movie to watch today is the 1972 musical 1976, recounting the events which led to the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Oh my God, that would be such a cool movie to see today. Just as as um, a nice movie just to see um, for in commemoration. Yeah, what a great suggestion. Let's see. And Winter Soldier says, I remember G.I. Jane, right? Remember that whole thing? And Demi Moore got in shape for it, and she got her she shaved her head for it. Oh my God, Keith E. I was thinking about this earlier. Private Benjamin, yes, great one. Thank you. Yes, Benjamin, with Goldie Hawn. I really liked that movie. It went a little bit too long, but the um, lady who was in Clue was also played the drill sergeant in Private Benjamin. It's really she was really good in that. And EAE says, is Will Smith's Emancipation on the list? No. Um, is that patriotic? Um, I'm gonna write that down. I'm trying to figure out if that one is patriotic and not. I did not see it. So EAE, you'll have to let us know if um that is um if that's the case. You'll have to let us know. Uh um and Sean and it says, yes, remember Jane, Demi Moore in the shower. LOL. Um and William Blake calls, so does yeah, everybody remembers G.I. Jane. Moonbeam says, waking up in the morning glories, all the golden afternoon, Alice in Wonderland, and yes, G.I. Jane and G.I. Joe. Um, uh, I'm trying to. Okay, so is it how many? You're saying that the you're saying that Alice. These are all suggestions. Um, Alice in Wonderland. You think that's patriotic? Um, well, yeah, you'll have to explain some of the other ones for us because I wasn't sure. I was not sure about that one. William Blake Hall says, I remember Chris Rock mentioning G.I. Jane, and yes, he did. Um, and Brogu says, 212 Act of Valor Navy SEAL movie as well. Oh, um, was that also on our list? Let's double check. Let's double check, guys. Oh, yep, there it is. Act of Valor. It was on our list. Whew. And the SEALs training. Uh, it says, oh, Navy SEALs 1995. Okay, yep, I got that on my list. Um, and EAE says, I get G.I. Jane confused with Aliens 3 because they both, yes, they both feature bald ladies in the early, 80s, 90s. Um, and the other thing about it too, yeah, they made such a big deal about it in the press for both times they went bald. So I thought that was really interesting. And William Blake Hall says you might as well throw Star Trek and the motion picture in there. Oh yeah, and Venkata said Zero Dark 30 was an engaging movie to watch. Um, And EAE says the Civil War is in the Emancipation movie. Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you so much for explaining that. I was like, oh, really? And William Blake Hall says the Star Trek motion picture Alien 3 G.I. Jane, also THX 1138. Um, okay. Now, THX, you'll have to explain to me how that's patriotic. I know that they're in, this weird like dystopian world. But yeah, let me know how it is. I've always wanted to know what happens at the end of like a part two to THX. Just to like what happens to that character. It's just so weird. And oh well, I guess definitely V for Vendetta. Oh, I didn't even think of that. See, that is very patriotic. Or it's almost too. It's like anti-establishment too. Um, but it comes from a desire to make things right again. And oh yes, this one, Grogu. That's so good. That's so good. GI Blues, 1960. Yes. Wow, you guys are really coming out with some really good ones. Okay. The Golden Afternoon is a song in Disney's Alice in Wonderland, and I remember G.I. Jane and G.I. Joe. Oh, okay. So yeah, we're only doing the movies, but yes, great. Yeah. I didn't know that. The Golden Afternoon is the Alice Wonderland. Um I had no idea. And William Blake Hall says, I guess also Minority Report. Okay. Gosh, it's been a long time since I've seen Minority Report. I need a refresher on that movie. And Sean, and it says RNG, he was rattling off movies with bald people. LOL. Oh, oh, oh. Guys, I need a heads up when you're gonna crack a joke, okay? I get, I get it now. Okay, well, you see, when I finally get the joke, I laugh. All right, William Michael says, RNG, no, the past five movies mentioned feature actresses. You guys are killing me right now. And Moonbeam says, yes, V for Vendetta is patriotic. It is. It really is. And he says Albert Einstein said nationalism is a disease of the mind. How would nationalism differ from patriotism? My small brain, my small brain can't really tell the difference. Yeah, it's kind of. I can't tell the difference either. I'm trying to think. Um, Patriotism. Yeah. I'd have to study it and try to figure it out. There's probably some small nuanced difference that, takes a real, takes a little digging to find out. And I've never asked the question, so I'm sure we can find the answer with a little digging. And Terry Talks Movie says, IRNG, they can there be good patriotic movies? Patriotism seems to me to be propaganda by another name. Interesting, yeah. Um, yeah, I guess so. You could say that. I mean, I think when I was saying, patriotic movies that were centered around uh, the inspiring idea of someone who is believes in something and is, willing to go the extra mile to do that for a country or a nation. So that would be my like I guess definition of it, but it is it propaganda? Depends on who's putting out the product, right? It could be propaganda if if the country is actually putting out or supporting or creating this narrative. But if it is like just someone who's maybe doing something that's uh non-judgmental, or that is not from it's just telling a story of a person. Because let's say you were telling the story of your grandfather, and it just so happens that your grandfather fought for the country. That's that wouldn't be propaganda. That would just be the telling of your father's life, life story that um, should be heard by someone. So I think it's not the same, but it can be. It could be used for evil, of course, of course. It could be used if it's something decreed from the government. You might want to look at it a certain way. You might want to look at it with a little bit of like a microscope. And what I mean, incredible question. Thank you. Thought provoking, and really asking the serious question, like, what is this all about? Love it, love it, love it, love it. Thank you for asking such a juicy question. And it says RNG, William Blake Hall, LOL. Yes. Moving says report Tom Cruise, a cop in the future, precogs. Yes. The part I was trying to figure out, like, though, is where the patriotism is. Like, is he, um, because I think he doesn't he break free from it because he's become a target, sort of like Logan's running a little bit in that aspect. Again, I have to watch Minority Report again to get a clearer assessment. And it's right up my alley, being that it's a sci-fi movie. And he says, Yul Brenner, Sinead O'Connor, Telly Savalas, bald people is another tangent that goes on the thumbnail. Thank you, Keithy, because I was like, uh, uh, I would be like, oh, how were they? They were all in a movie together somewhere. I said, thank you. More ball talks. And William Blake Hall says, hi, Terry. Sometimes good things have been done in a national cause. It's not impossible, right? It isn't. Like sometimes. Um, Moonbeam 87 says Mr. Beat talks about the difference between nationalism and patriotism. Oh, great, Mr. Beat. Okay, I'll have to look that up. Um, and if you can briefly assess for us the difference, if you can just say like one or two words of what you think the difference is between nationalism and patriotism. Um, because maybe we're using the wrong words. Maybe we should be saying that these are um, nationalism movies, but I don't think anybody understands what that means. They'd be like, "What?" If people were looking for it in a search, they would be like, "Okay, it's 4th of July and I want to celebrate some patriotic movies." That's what they would look for. They wouldn't look for nationalism movies. Um, and Terry Talk says, I distrust flag waving. It's merely done by good. It's really done by good people. Uh, and EAE says, would Taliban be considered patriots? I don't know. I'm going to stay away from all that. I am going to stay back away from. I'm going to back away from that one. And Brogu says 1941 Buck Private, starring Abbott and Costello. Cool, cool. 1941. Buck Privates. Um, okay, yeah. And William Blake Hall says, I think it was Franklin who said something like, patriotism is the first refuge of a scoundrel. All too often true. Wow. And Sean Ennis says, true. A lot of them can be heavy handed. And John Walker says Robin Turney shaved her head in the Empire Records. In Empire Records, William. We're still we're still talking about yeah, Robin Tooney always used to wear her hair very, very short, didn't she? Yes. And William Blake Hall says, never saw Empire Records. Need to get that get to that someday. Yeah, me too. I never did see it. Keith E says, "Thank you for keeping me straight, William. It's appreciated." All right. Let me see if and Moonbeam says, oh, okay. John Walker says, yes, Shun. She had to wear a wig in the craft. Oh, interesting. I didn't know she was even wearing a wig in the craft. Okay, I had to look at that movie again too. Moonbeam says, yeah, Minority Report is kind of like Logan's Run, a cop on the run. Yeah. And Sean and it says underrated actress Robin Tunney, right? Um, I wonder if she retired or if she's doing stuff on that we're just not being like exposed to independent things like that. And William Blake Hall says Mr. Beat is a good YouTuber, good grasp of history. Okay, I will. I guess I'll have to find Mr. Beat for history videos. Yeah, never heard of him before. I'm so glad you guys are opening up my horizons. Thank you. And let's see. And EAE says, "Can we get a tour of your spaceship?" It's really shallow. There isn't really much. But maybe one day, when I get things together, I can give you guys a tour one day. And thank you for asking, by the way. Thank you so much for asking. Um, and Keith E says, Eileen Brennan in the Private Benjamin was the sergeant. Just thinking. Yes, Eileen Brennan, who was also in the movie we saw last Saturday, Clue. And she's played the senator's wife. And she was absolutely incredible in Private Benjamin. Very funny, loud and obnoxious, and it was wonderful. She was just wonderful. Scary too. She was very scary as well. Um, and Sean also says she's done a fair amount of TV, like The Mentalist, Robin Turney, he's referring to. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I didn't know she was in The Mentalist. And okay, so Moonbeam has given us a definition. Say the difference between nationalism and patriotism is kind of blurred for me. But what nationalism is, uh, but nationalism is only the country, from what I understand, where patriotism is the love of the country and others. Interesting. Oh, okay. Interesting. So I mean, what would we? Yeah, very interesting. I kind of get it. I understand now. I kind of get it. Okay. And William Blake Hall says, I think Eileen Brennan was in both the movie and the very short-lived TV show of Private Benjamin. Oh, that's right. There was a TV show. I didn't see, but yeah. Thank you, William. Like, Brogu says, I guess we can put the 6 o'clock news down on our list. We've been given over $100 billion of our tax dollars to the Ukrainians for their war. Oh, well, we're gonna stay away from politics today. If we can, um, even though we're talking about patriotism, we're, um, uh, we're trying to do it through the movies, just a little. But Moonbeam says, yeah, yes, Eileen Brennan is Miss Peacock in Clue. Yes, Miss Peacock, the senator's wife. Very amazing, amazing job that she did in that movie. Um, all right, guys. So I think let's see, did we finish the entire list? Yes, we did finish the entire list. And I didn't know. Yeah. QE says, did people have different endings on their copies of Clue? Um, from me, I had the classic three endings, and I'm not sure if anybody else had other endings on their copies. Because yes, like mm, Keith, let me know what how yours ended on Clue. If you had three endings or if you had less. And Unicorn is like, oh, easy on the politics, kids. Yeah, it's politics. I can't get into, but we can talk about the movies because that's where I think we can um we can enjoy movies, right? We can enjoy the movies at least. Um, and yep, Terry said he had three endings on Clue. Yeah, my copy has three endings on Clue. Um, and Sean Ennis says poor Eileen Brennan hurt her back badly, and it affected her ability to work. Oh no! Oh no! I didn't know that. Thank you, Sean, for mentioning that. Yeah, really sorry about that. Really sorry about that. Yeah, guys, I I think thank you so much everybody for being here on this holiday. It has been so much fun talking to you guys about these movies and getting a more definitive idea of what the heck, these patriotic movies, what are they all about and which ones fit the category. And it's been really fascinating to narrow things down just a little. And Terry Talks Movie says Eileen Brennan was fun in A Long Last Love. Burt Reynolds singing was weird, fun too. Interesting. I've never seen that one, At Long Last Love. Um, and Shantana says she hurt her back in private jet. Oh, she after private Benjamin. Oh, okay. Um, and Moonbeam said, yes, I saw three endings: Mrs. Scarlet, Mrs. Peacock, and it was actually Mr. Green, the in the hall with the revolver. Oh man, just bringing back those memories of that movie. Just what a great movie. I think I just chuckled the entire time. I was just chuckling the entire time. I had to go back and watch it again for like certain things, and um, uh, I usually do for all my live streams just to highlight like different parts of the conversation I might need um to put timestamps on. And my goodness, the whole time it was like I was being tickled. And then I ended up just like listening to me laughing. I ended up starting laughing too, just out of nowhere. So yeah. By the end, like at like halfway through, I was like, "Oh, let me just watch along," and I did watch along, and that was fun. And one thing I love about watch parties, anybody can join the watch party at any point in time. It's just going to be fun. And Sean Ennis says Brennan was hit by a truck driver in 1982. My God, how did she survive that? Oh my God. Um, Oh, you broke. You're so silly. I'm not gonna get to 2 million. Um, says I'm gonna miss you, RG, when you get close to 2 million subs. No way, no way, um, no way. You guys, you're too funny. Oh my God. Anyway, yes. All right, guys. I think it's time to um this was what I meant to do. I think it's time to close down. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening. It is. definitely been a nice day here, and definitely, like I said, one of the best 4th of July's for me, spending it with you guys. It was just a lot of fun. Um, and I hope you guys continue to have a great week ahead. Some people have the entire week off. Does anybody have the entire week off? My God. If you do, have fun. I don't, but if you do, oh, something weird just happened. Of course, something weird happened. Um, yeah, okay. Um, yeah, I'm looking for my closing video, which is, usually about 3 minutes long, and it will give you a chance to say goodbye to the friends that we have in the chat. So glad to see you guys today and any of the new friends that we made today. Just a good time to be had by all. Great conversations, great, little tidbits, little bits of information that I didn't know. Now I know how to say Edelweiss. And I know what it is. It's a flower that grows on the mountain. Um, and it's really been a wonderful day, and I hope that you guys will enjoy the rest of it. So here's the video, and without further ado, I bid you adieu, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, guys.
Retro Nerd Girl, you are clear for takeoff.